Hello everyone, welcome to the most exciting show on the internet right now, Purposes of the Pale. I'm your very excited host, Curious. I'm here with my guy.
Yes, I'm Gray.
You might be wondering why I'm so excited. It's because I'm gonna do the thing. I'm gonna do the James Somerton thing for this podcast. We're gonna rip
Lie
off stuff
about
that we
killing
like.
yourself?
No, we're gonna...
Okay, I mean, I probably shouldn't say that. Maybe he did, and like by the time this comes out, anyways.
We're gonna, this will be cancelable. Yeah. No, what I'm saying is we're gonna copy Hive Mind, but instead of two white guys, it's two unfunny Asian guys.
Yes.
We're like a quarter funny together. And they do brackets of songs of a bunch of stuff of like, I don't know, just go watch their channel. They're really funny. And we're gonna also be copying one of my favorite new podcasts right now, Versus Wolves, because Gray wants to be Super Eye Patch Wolf so bad. And I am the diversity hire. So bad.
I'm the one who's Indian. You're like, you're culturally white.
Oh god, I can't.
you can't say anything about that.
Okay, so the thing is, right? We're doing a favorite things bracket. Our favorite things, 32 of them. Each of us picked 16-ish things that we're gonna make compete against one another. But the thing is, we went kind of wild with this one. Just like the Versus Wolf episode, they had like a drink on, like a song mashup, like just really specific random bullshit. And I thought it would be funny to do this kind of thing for us as well.
I have like way more specific stuff than you do, so it'd be interesting to see what our best things are. And
this is our favorite things bracket, so I didn't like try to do critically these are the best things I've ever seen or experienced.
These are
just my
aesthetic
favorites.
Testimonies, not aesthetic truths.
What does that mean?
That's from a CJ video. Fuck off.
Right. I actually referenced CJ in my next video. I really need to watch the subjectivity in art video. I think I get the gist, but I don't actually know. I call him my actual father in the video. So
I recently rewatched it. It's a very good watch.
Yeah, I'm going to. But before we get into that, let's just do the thing where we ask about each other's weeks and we pretend to care.
Yeah. I'll start because I have something I need to lay out there. This is a big announcement. All right.
Okay.
So after like a 3-hour contemplative session, I have decided that my favorite water is from Evil Granny Obby from 2016 Roblox, where if you walk on it, you die. I know this is like very inflammatory what I'm saying, but like, I'm sorry, man. It's no longer the glass of clear water that guy from the church gave me. I'm pretty sure it was laced with heroin or something. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's that because it's, I don't know. I have to bend down to the nostalgia.
Bend over for the nostalgia.
Yes.
That's like the actual. That's like the first bit that Gray orchestrated. I'm gonna clap for that. That's
it's not a bit.
Oh my god, my boy has grown
joking.
up. My boy knows how to talk about it.
I'm not joking. It's like actually for real. I see that water in my dreams.
Why are you in the church? You're not religious. You're an atheist. You're not in the church.
That's a different story. I went to a church to like with my father, I think, when I was 7 or something. I don't know. I don't exactly know why, but I was there, and the priest or some person in the church gave me a glass of water, and it tasted very good.
And then you blacked out for 3 days, and something.
Yeah, probably. It was either heroin or some other kind of psychedelics. I probably saw Jesus.
There's some pretty astounding news right there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have expected that from my co-host. I don't have a news to one up that, but I will say that breaking news: Greylink has got another hit video. I think the Gorilla Gone video.
Kinda, yeah.
Is it? Yeah, I mean, I wasn't checking, but like it was doing pretty well for the first few days. And like, wow.
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
what the kids call
it did like follow my usual video path to success or like mid success. It still has more views than I have subscribers, which is good.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing you're aiming for.
Oh, but one good thing out of this is that I'm only like less than 500 hours of watch time away from money. So probably either this video like really blows up or like the next video, I'm probably gonna be eligible for monetization, which is great. I want money. We live in a society, a capitalist society, and I like money.
You'll be in what is it called? upper echelons of society.
Indeed.
You won't talk to me anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be there soon. I have like 50 subscribers to go. And,
Oh yeah,
I'll be
you're probably
eligible for
gonna get there
monetization.
before I do, because hours of watch time is harder to get than subscribers, I think.
Perhaps. But you might have to account that I'm a sociopath and nobody actually likes me. So.
Oh, I also have something else to say. This one's like
Right.
an actual announcement. Like not really, but today I was eating breakfast, and it was some kind of coconut rice, something that my parents and my mom made.
Coconut rice?
Yeah, it's a pretty. It's not that common, but every once a month or something. And I don't know what I swallowed something, and something is stuck in my throat, and it hurts every time I talk. So
What? What?
yeah.
Okay. So like
this
when
is not
we're
a bit.
So when we're arguing our takes, you'll just be like choking yourself, and I'll
Yeah,
feel bad,
basically.
and I'll give you the spot.
Yeah.
That's a genius strategy.
So I'm already at a disadvantage.
Holy shit. Well,
But I'm still gonna
I'll have-
win because I'm just superior. I'm a superior race.
This is what the fuck?
The debate, bro. We're superior to everybody.
All right, dude. But I'll let you know that yesterday, like midnight, I was at a really weirdly spacious house with like 20 people that I kind of knew, and I drank alcohol there, and I feel really. I slept for like 9 hours today, and I still feel kind of delirious. I don't remember much of what happened. I didn't get drunk or anything. I just don't remember much. So if my brain lacks out, you'll know why.
Do you have leukemia?
I'll be delivering the pathos, the emotion, the yapping, and the crying, but I won't be delivering on the bits because my brain just isn't sharp today. All right, well, I'll let Gray handle that for this one. Also, he's like 3 hours ahead of me, so he has
Yes.
more time to wake up.
I'm a
Right.
superior. I'll stop.
Enough.
I'll stop. I went to the cinemas with my parents yesterday to watch a Malayalam movie called Premalu. I'll just read you my review from Letterboxd.
Letterboxd.
Yeah. So it goes like, wow. Now this is a textbook example of how the culture and industry works to reinforce patriarchal liberal class and gender roles into people. This is a diluted Barbie with zero self-awareness, no pretty colors, nor a backbone to experiment. I should have been watching 500 Days of Summer or Chunking Express with a friend, but decided to go see this in the theaters.
Oh my god!
And we'd have pirated those films too.
Oh my god! Oh, I only heard my part. I didn't hear anything else. I mean, what has society come to? That you just read this letterbox review in front of me instead of talking to me. Does our friendship mean nothing to you? Are you just gonna read off a fucking list, a website? What is wrong with you? I feel so sad.
Because
I feel heartbroken.
it's like there's nothing else to say. It's just a really shitty romance movie that's made to reinforce like conservative liberal values into people. It's a family film. So yeah, I felt physically assaulted like 4 times while watching the movie, and I just never want to see something like that ever again. I even thought about like never watching a movie ever too. So
the concept of movies was like a mistake.
Yeah,
when you watched
yeah,
this movie. Like,
exactly.
It felt like a mistake.
and then
Goddamn.
I told my parents that if I ever come to power, I will make it illegal for Malayalis to ever make a film ever again. So
What did they think of that? What did they think of that?
yeah, I
Your,
mean
ambitions?
yeah. So like, there's a quote from like Akira Kurosawa, I think. Yeah, it's definitely from Kurosawa. He says how he talks about how hard it is to like raise the standard of movies. It's very easy to like lower the what a good movie is, the standard for a good movie in society, but it's incredibly hard to raise it back to a level that's like actually productive. I'm pretty sure there's like an interview or something, and that's exactly what this is. This is a terrible, absolute bullshit movie, and people will eat it up because it's better than like 5 other movies that came out this month, which is just incredibly sad.
That's
And
the fucking,
that's
the
that's
thing.
also what my parents said. It's very very bad, and they saw that, but they also said that it's better than like the 4 other movies that came out.
No,
This is very
that's
sad.
really, I think, maybe I would say I don't want to comment on like wider like Asian cinema or something, that's too broad, but I feel like I also saw this problem back in China. Yeah, in China, me and my family we went to watch a boxing film. Kind of.
Ooh,
I don't wanna
I
describe
can't.
it.
Ashitana
It's
Joe.
kinda- It's like Ashina Joe, but like shit, and like instead of like
Oh.
about working class hero rebelling, it's about reinforcing the hierarchy and bullshit. It's really bad. I hated it. But everybody in the theater loved it because like it hit on the familiar themes, pseudo nationalistic, pseudo pull yourself by the bootstraps rhetoric, pseudo that kind of bullshit, and like I really hated it. But then I asked like my parents and also the other people because this was like a big thing. Like it's very easy for Chinese people to get hype on something, especially because this guy, the director, was like a formerly pretty famous actor who did some pretty good movies, but now he's just doing bullshit. And yeah, everybody was like, "Wow, no, this movie's actually good," compared to the bullshit movies out there. It's like, what? That's not the standard. Like,
Yeah.
why is that the standard? Like, I really don't get it. It's really frustrating.
Ooh, let me like, just like tell you some of the details of this movie, because like, okay, this is about the movie that I'm talking about is about a
Right.
guy who is pursuing a romance interest in a girl, and like okay, the one major like not a concept, like a major theme is that he has he's literally me, right? Like literally me,
Okay.
quote unquote, as in that like
Okay.
he has like had like a couple of one-sided love, like unrequited love interests over the past however many years he's lived, and he's pursuing another one, and it's going the same way, and like it's like, I think I told you about how I read a review of it being not mentioned, it being about male entitlement. It is about male entitlement, only that it's not aware that it's about male entitlement. The male entitlement is there only if you know what to look for. Do you get what I mean?
So like, this movie, instead of like addressing the problem,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
guy feels entitled. It just
Exactly.
tells the audience that this guy deserves a girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that.
So like this guy, he basically engages in like very creepy behavior if you really think
Oh.
about it,
Yeah.
and then after in the end the girl obviously falls for him, and she's like, all the creepy things you did, I actually liked it.
This is
and
the
also,
message to send out to all the stalkers out there. Keep doing that.
Yeah.
Keep doing that, guys.
yeah, keep doing it until she flies you to the UK, and like
Is that what happens
caresses
later?
you. yeah, it does.
Fucking flying out to your colonizer's country. Jesus
Indeed.
Christ. What is this movie is not real. God damn.
Yeah, it's not good at
That's
all.
fucked up.
Okay, let's move on from the terrible, absolute, horrific nightmare.
I want to say though,
Yeah.
I mean, a few things happened in this in the last week that most of them not too relevant, but I want to say Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 Rebirth came out.
Ah, is it
and I saw
out?
some people
Okay.
playing it. Yes, it is out, but only on PS5. So that's shitty. Fucking the PS5
that's
is
terrible.
dying.
I have a
for, like-
controller, but I don't have a system, so. Oh.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. And I played the first one. It's like the first remake was the first game I tried to run on my new PC, so I have like fond memories of it. But it fucking sucked. Well, okay, it didn't suck. It's just a lot of padding, like a lot of obvious, like we didn't know what to do here, so we just padded out with
Ooh,
more
didn't
side quests.
Donkey describe it as a serious game with goofy moments, while the original one was a goofy game with serious moments?
Right. Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, I feel like he was exaggerating a bit when he said like, the acting was so bad, but I feel like it was mostly okay. Maybe I played on the Japanese, so I didn't hear the English
Like
acting.
a fucking weeaboo.
Yes, that was a weird boo moment of mine. But it is kind of weird how like a lot of the camera angles are like the female characters like Tifa, Aerith, they just like look directly into the camera for so many of the shots because they want you to feel like, oh my god, you're Cloud. Oh my god, girl likes you. Oh my god, and that's kind of creepy. And also in this one, like, you know, before, maybe this is just this says more about my recommendations, but like the freaking day the game came out, I already saw Tifa and Aerith in swimsuits clip 24K. It was like, what the fuck. The Final Fantasy VII
isn't like
fandom is-
Tifa like incredibly I don't know, what do you call it? Like very popular in certain 3D animation circles.
That's right. Yeah, they're like the most popular characters, so I'm not surprised. But the fan base is filled with a bunch of Coomers. But I did, I did see that they changed a lot of stuff. And Donkey, speaking of Donkey, he came out with a video that's basically like one of those videos where he plays through a game and makes fun of it. Like he genuinely had a lot of good like experiences with the game. Like he liked the chocobo stuff, he liked the mini games and stuff. So like I feel like maybe it's actually they actually improve on a lot of it, especially because of the narrative undertaking. Okay, I'm not getting too deep into this, but basically, Tim Rogers also said in like his stream or something that Final Fantasy VII, like it starts off with Midgard, which is a very tight section, like very like tight narrative story arc. It has an end at the beginning, and then they just kind of like let you off, and you go to different places, and it's so important that that transition from a more segmented, more structured segment of the game to this open world segment is smooth, and I think they pulled it off from the review, so that's one thing. All right, enough of video game talk. Let's talk about maybe video games. Okay, so the way we're gonna do this is we're gonna name off our nominations one by one, 16 of them, and if there's any overlap, then we'll just figure it out.
Ooh, I have. So what about the 4 others?
The 4 others? What do you mean?
Honorable mentions? Like I have 20.
Yeah, they're gonna be the honorable mentions because we're gonna pick 16 from each of us. That's right.
Okay, so first
start?
off, we'll list off all of them, all 20.
Yes, but like one by one. So like you say one, I say one, that kind of stuff.
Okay. So you go first.
Okay, well this is the obvious one, but we had to say it. Disco Elysium. That's my first
fuck.
pick.
Okay. Yeah, I also have it.
Right.
Okay, I'll say mine then.
Right.
Being.
I hate you. I hate you so much. I hate you. This is not what I signed up for.
Okay, next. You go.
Okay, so Being entered into the wheel of names we're gonna be spinning. Okay, second one, also obvious. I just had to list off like my favorite things of all time. Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Cthulhu.
And then one of my favorite albums, To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar.
Nice. Gurren Lagann opening playing at the final fight. or just openings or Sorairo Days.
Okay, then Gurren Lagann opening. All right, Sorairo Days. Next one we have is recent favorite, but means a lot to me. Big Thieves. Long fucking title. Dragon New War Mountain. I Believe in You. It's an album. It's still music.
Right. Isn't that the one that you sent me? The simulation form.
Right, yeah, it's from that album.
Yeah.
But the album's like 20 songs. So
yeah, I know. I've listened to like most of it. I like a lot. I like them a lot. Yeah.
Yes, nice.
And then mine's Imagine by John Lennon.
Are you kidding me? Okay.
No.
Imagine by John. Okay, I never thought that. Okay, we talk a lot. I did not anticipate this song being out there. Okay.
Okay. Next.
And then still in the music realm, Neutral Milk Hotels in the Aeroplane Over the Sea.
Ooh,
like,
nice.
I had to be there.
Mine's Mr. Robot.
I need to watch it one day, definitely. I've heard a lot of good things about it. And then I you know what? Let's jump to something that's not music for once. Dumplings, as in the food. Dumplings.
Nice. I have no food at all. I fucking hate food. I will kill food.
Damn.
And then for me, it's the Spanish woman singing scene from Mulholland Drive.
You gotta explain that one, but like, okay,
yeah,
the Spanish woman singing. Hive Mind, the YouTube channel.
Okay, nice. Quote: "Good lives make bad stories." Unquote.
That's you're talking what yeah. I mean, in that spirit, let's put. I didn't put Twin Fantasy, surprisingly. I put Teens of Denial. 4 reasons
nice.
We'll get into.
Yeah.
By Carsi Harrest. If you didn't know, that was also the previous one was also Carsi Harrest because we are gay furries.
Okay. And then, quote, when the cicadas cry, unquote.
Oh, shit. Okay. I have a video game. Ghost Trick Phantom Detective.
Oh, I literally just started playing it. God damn.
Oh, shit. Nice. Nice. Awesome. Okay. I can't wait to talk about that.
And then, okay, mine's, quote, un jour je serai de retour près de toi.
Is it the one day I'll return by your side?
Yeah, exactly.
How the fuck do you have it spelled somewhere?
I do. Oh man, the thing is still stuck in my throat.
Drink some water. You'll be,
Yeah, I've eaten like lunch as well as drank like tons of water today.
Oh,
It won't go. I'm convinced it's like cancer in my throat or something.
No. I hope you don't die while we record this. That'll be very sad. Okay.
I mean, cancer only kills slowly, so it's fine.
That's right.
I have at least 4 more episodes in me. Anyways.
This is kind of specific. Hyoka analysis series on YouTube by Replay Value.
Oh, I need to watch that.
Right.
Definitely send me the link.
Yes, I will.
Yeah, mine's the one story about a guy dreaming from shrouded hand.
In what?
But from shrouded hand, the
Shrouded Hand.
Yeah, the
Okay,
channel, YouTube channel.
Shrouded Hand story. My Kindle e-reader.
Okay, nice.
Mention. Yes.
Mine's Cruel Angel's Thesis.
Okay. Basic voice.
That's Godwin Baxter sings Cruel Angel's Thesis.
My Broken Mariko, the manga.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
You still haven't made a video about it.
Soon.
Mine's Tank, the opening of Cowboy Bebop.
Very nice choice. Well, if we're going by individual songs, Kumomi by Nujabes.
Mine's Charlie Chaplin's speech from The Great Dictator.
My Guitar.
The ruthless criticism of everything that exists.
I mean, it's not like a term, or I guess it's a term, not like a quote, right?
Yeah.
Alright. This is fun. I like this. One of my new favorite music channels or YouTube channels in general, Professor Sky's Record Review.
Ooh, I know that guy. He made a video on drag.
He did, right?
Yeah.
And he also that's like his second channel. He does a lot of really interesting content.
Yeah.
Right. He mostly.
I think
talks
he's
about
also
music.
like an academic. I mean, it makes sense.
He is.
Professor, yeah.
He is an academic. That's right.
Mine's Killing Armstrong and Revengeance.
This is the last one. Last one. Shit.
Okay. I mean, I have like 4 more, which can I like switch in some? Maybe.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Okay,
I also wasn't thinking about it too much. We can switch it. Shit. I'm gonna go action button. Just put it in there.
I mean, I knew you'd have it, so I didn't. I'd like to switch. Okay, so the things I'm switching out would be honorable mentions, right? So I'll talk about them a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So first off, quote, when the cicadas cry, unquote. I have not watched or heard or played Higurashi. Not heard, read. But that title just fucking stuck with me the first time I heard it, and it like sends chills down my spine for I don't know really why, because like cicadas, they're like a huge thing. I think I have like a very like a big spot in my nostalgia hole for cicada sounds. I think another thing that I like very much is Steinskate, and one of the biggest features of Steinskate's soundscape is cicada noises. It's summer, right?
Right.
And cicadas have there's something there, and like when the cicadas cry is incredibly mysterious and like mystical and alluring for me. I really like that title, and if I ever make something, I want something of that caliber to be my title. So I really like it.
One of the best titles of all time.
Yes.
And like cicadas, Higurashi is like a part of the 7 expansion series, so they have like Umineko and shit. And like when the sea cats cry, it just does not sound cool at all. But like when the cicadas cry, goddamn.
Yeah.
That's just incredible. Umineko fans, don't come at me. I'm sure your story is very good. I'm not.
Okay,
leaving
I'd
that
like to
ever, though.
switch out When the Cicadas Cry with the Daigo Parry.
The Daigo Parry, nice. Okay, I recently only learned of this because of you.
I will turn you into a fighting game nerd.
All right, I think. Do you have more things you want to switch out?
Yeah, I do. I have.
Let me just go
Yeah,
go on because I feel
yeah,
like
yeah.
you'll be interested.
We'll
to switch
do
out.
like alternate
right
switchings. Okay.
Alternating.
Yeah.
I think I might just switch out the things I've already talked about before. That's not very interesting.
Mm.
Like in the airplane over the sea, I gushed about it. Like
Yeah,
like
I think
episode
we
5 or
gushed
something.
about it. I really like it a lot
yes,
too.
right. So I'm gonna talk about something that's maybe a bit more. It's not like my favorite thing ever, like airplane is, but it's pretty significant. Fucking Bloom Into You, the manga.
Ah, I've read
I
that
think
one.
you've read. Yeah, you've read
Yeah.
it, right? Yeah.
I think it's like the first manga I've ever read because it was a Yuri and I was, it's a Yuri.
Yeah, there's a similar story there. Yeah. Okay. What's the other thing you want to switch out?
I'd
Oh,
like
wait,
to switch.
I mean,
yeah.
Do I have to wait? Before that, do we have to talk about much about airplane? You could just watch our previous episode.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and also good album. I
Yes.
love you, Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Yes.
I already
Alright.
said that today, so I don't have
Yes.
to.
Yeah. You don't have to use
Um,
that. I just have to say it.
Okay, I like to switch out the ruthless criticism of everything that exists.
Man.
I put that in because like that. Not
He's just a
only is it
communist.
like a
Filthy commie. Boo.
okay, stop. I will get in trouble. It's not only like a metal quote. It's just an incredibly punk quote. It's also like it's how I have like started to view things. There is nothing is sacred from criticism, even criticism itself. And I think that drive to like punch through everything to like get to the truth, whether or not truth exists or not, I'm not going to talk about that. But I really fucking love that spirit, and I think that's something that just drives me personally. So, yeah.
In other words, he's a big yapper and he bitches about everything, but that's in a good way.
Why do we do this?
All right, what are you switching it out for?
I'll switch it with Breath of the Wild reveal. Not like the game reveal, but like the introduction reveal, world reveal. Just Breath of the Wild reveal.
Of the wild reveal, world reveal, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I have one more thing and another honorable mention to mention.
Right.
One thing that I do need to switch out is killing Armstrong in Revengeance.
Oh man, okay.
Yeah, it's like an incredibly memorable scene in like an incredibly memorable video game. Metal Gear is a series that I've started to get into. I'm probably gonna pick up Metal Gear 2 after I finish Ghost Trick. And after that, like Metal Gear is Metal Gear. It's Kojima. He's fucking incredible. And like Metal Gear is it's been very open about what it wants to be, and like it's very confident and like what do you call it? Not shameful. Fuck. Unabashedly itself. Yeah.
Yes.
And the moment when you like kill Armstrong, it's like there is no mask at all. He is just he's a liberal, conservative liberal, like Trump-like person, and like you're ripping his heart out and crushing it. This is one of the most metal scenes ever, and not just in video games.
I wonder.
But yeah.
I wonder what your fantasies are like. Just. You have some interesting things of what
some of them
satisfying.
like some of them would probably be fighting other than like muscle mommies, but yeah.
All right.
And then I have
Are you switching it out for muscle mommies? Is that what's happening?
No. I have another honorable mention. I'll say that before I switch out. Okay. Another honorable mention is not women, because women are not things.
Happy Women's Day, everybody. This is like fucking 2 weeks late, but Happy Women's Day, everybody.
Yeah, that's why I didn't have muscle mommies there, because they're not things. They're women.
Oh god, I got played.
Yeah.
No, I got played. No.
Yeah. Fuck you, misogynist.
No,
I'll burn
I'm
you.
never coming back from this. No, I'm gonna be
This
burned
is
on the
it.
stake.
Curious is over party. Make a trend.
It's so done.
Okay,
It's so over.
I'll switch out Killing Armstrong with Zizek's coffee and cream joke. Sorry, coffee without cream joke.
I don't think I remember that one, but you can remind me when we get there.
Yeah.
I have a few honorable mentions. Let's see. I have Nisio Isin just as like entire catalog of work, but like you know, it's kind of too broad, so I didn't want to put that in. But Nisio Isin, he has been
bringing
some of
up,
my favorite
I
things
recently finished Nadeko Medusa arc.
ever. What did you think about that?
Yeah, it was very surprising, honestly. I really liked it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
you know,
also, I get why I get Senjo Gahara now.
What do you mean get her perspective or get her appeal?
Her appeal, I like her a
Yeah.
lot. Yes.
She is fucking the best.
Yeah.
Enough about Senju Gahara for now. But yeah, fucking Nadeko Medusa is an incredible arc. It seems so surprising in the moment, and then you go back and it's like, okay, well, it makes perfect sense. Like,
Yeah.
this is the only way it could have ended up. And also just the way they play with perspective, like the twists that unravel.
Like
as
some
they
of
go.
them I was able to predict, but like even the things I did predict, it was like they just like chucked it all over the fence. Is that
Right.
even a term? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. And like Nisio Isin, especially, you know, Monogatari isn't really you could say it's kind of a mystery story, but it's mostly a character-driven story. But like Nadeko Medusa, I feel like is the only one where like I actually felt that kind of Zaragoto-esque like mystery for once. I don't know, maybe I need to rewatch it again to see. But it's an incredible arc. All right. Where was that? Yeah, Nisio Isin catalog of work. I recommend Zaragoto, Katanagatari, fucking Monogatari,
did you
obviously,
finish it?
and also a lot of stuff. Yeah, I didn't finish Katanagatari. I started it, though. It's
nice.
pretty good. Yeah, also the Sekai series, if you want to see him actually write an incest story, not like a joke one.
Is there
okay.
really a joke incest?
Perhaps. Okay, Hive Mind is in there. I wanted Spadanki, like he's one of my favorite YouTubers, but I feel like not much I could really say about him that's like super original.
Yeah.
And also, I think who is like creeping up to be one of my favorite YouTubers, Dreg. I'm not proud to say it. Dreg, holy shit! Like I feel like especially, you know, when he was just as like ironic, political, anti-extremist self, I was like, okay. You know, I kind of get the point, but you know, it's kind of not my thing. But now it seems like there's like an actual core in him, and I just that being community and art, and like I just really appreciate a lot of this
I
stuff.
like the recent Dreg a lot more than I do the older Dreg. I find that very edgy at this point.
Yeah, I think the point he was making there is that, you know, I don't think he's anti-extremist or anti-centrist. I think he's like humanist. That's the one thing also Professor Sky brings up in his Dragon video.
Yeah,
Like
that's exactly what I'm saying.
anti-tribalism.
The video, Professor Sky's video, I really do not like that at all. Actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, it's a video where he basically says like, you know,
He's an
in your 20s, you might be-
anti-tribalist, kinda.
Yeah. He also says, I think it's in that video where he says like, you know what, 20 years from now on,
Yeah, exactly.
you're probably not going to be politically extreme or something, which is, you know, I could see why that would rub you off. But we're getting off track. J-Rec, he's making good stuff. And
Yeah, now
I just like
definitely,
his
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, definitely. And also Bochi the Rock, I think I can talk about it when guitar comes up, so it's not going to be
Sure.
a big deal. And then, yeah, that's it. That's on my honorable mentions.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna cut and we're gonna do a bunch of spinning. So we're not gonna like make sure that, you know, every one of my entries has to go against every one of his entries, Grace entries. We can't like, you know, have a battle and say our own entries or something. It's gonna be completely random. All right. So we're gonna cut. Please don't forget us. All right. So the first matchup we have is the Spanish woman singing scene from Mulholland Drive and Disco Elysium. We can just move Disco Elysium, but I want to say, like, explain the Spanish woman singing scene.
So Mulholland Drive is a film, it's a real film by Mr. David Lynch, who will kill himself if he forgets an idea.
Nice. Just like
have you seen that thing? Have you seen that?
yeah,
meme?
you sent me the quote or like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
interview or whatever he said.
Yeah. So this scene is in Mulholland Drive, which is a really weird film about Hollywood and actors and dreaming and shit like that. And this specific scene is when our two leads, two women, who both are two women. I'm not gonna go into what they are because that would be spoilers. But the two women go into an opera, and there's a woman singing something in Spanish. I think it's a pretty popular song, but a Spanish version of a popular song. I think, I'm not very sure. And they're watching the woman singing, and they start crying because that's the singing is incredibly affecting.
Okay.
I can't. Yeah. And then suddenly the woman just faints, but the singing does not stop.
Oh, okay. And I think you mentioned the scene in the Unreality of Anime.
Yeah.
Video, right?
Right. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, maybe I did. So it's like I really love that scene. I think most of the picks that I have I can't really explain, but can only give hints as to why I like them. I just fucking like them. It's a very good example. It's a very good analogy for the wheel, if you know what that is, with Lacan. It's not real, but it's just there. There's nothing behind its existence. The singing voice. The woman is not singing. It's just there. So it's like it's what you call the real, because there is nothing behind it. It's simply that. There is nothing behind the mask. So yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
That's cool. I want to watch that movie eventually soon.
I think Zizek uses this scene to explain the real in one of his lectures that I watched. I think it was in the 9-hour lecture.
Nice. Endlessly based. But it's Disco Elysium. Let's move it on. Disco Elysium.
Yeah.
I think we can say not talk about it right now, because we'll definitely talk about it.
We'll talk about it when or if it loses, or when or if it wins.
Yeah, when is having a real composition.
Yeah.
All right. Next we have Cthulhu and To Pimp a Butterfly. Two horrific experiences. So Cthulhu, why do you like Cthulhu?
Cthulhu is infinitely attractive to me.
You want to fuck Cthulhu?
No. The concept of Cthulhu, fuck off. I'm not like you. I don't like to fuck things very.
What?
No. So Cthulhu is everybody's first existential, cosmic horror monster, or not kaiju, but Lovecraftian monster. And Cthulhu is also my first Lovecraftian monster, and it/he/him, I don't know. It represents the sheer mystery that is the ocean, and I've been into the sea before. I've been on a boat. I've been to the beach before, and I have this. I'm not afraid of the waters. I'm not afraid of drowning or anything. I'm drowning curious, haha. But I have this innate shudder of the sheer size and sheer existence, the presence of the ocean is terrifying to me. And Cthulhu is basically that, but not personified, but embodied.
Right. Yeah, I really like the idea of cosmic horror as well, regarding Cthulhu. But I will say one counterpoint. When you read the Call of Cthulhu, the original story where he came from, it's fucking just it's so stupid. I mean, I guess it's supposed to be scary, but I just felt like it was so boring. It was just about people going insane because of this Cthulhu thing, and people starting shit because of this Cthulhu thing. Nothing actually happens. I didn't like that story that much, and I don't know. What do you think about the story surrounding Cthulhu besides the idea of Cthulhu?
I haven't really read the thing itself. I've only like listened to
Really?
it from I've only listened to it from other people who have read it.
Oh, I see. I'm gonna don't talk when you're eating. It's not very polite or clear.
Okay.
Little bitch.
We can talk about Pimp a Butterfly while I do my
Jesus
ASMR.
No, this is annoying. Please stop. Don't talk when. This is such a like a westernized concept. Like I hate when people like eat and talk.
I mean,
Okay.
I don't like it either, but like the thing is getting cold because I have AC on, so I have to get it done.
Okay, I see. Quickly gulp it down. Well, I'll talk about. I don't know what to say. To Pimp a Butterfly is one of the most significant albums to come out in the past 10 years. It's just everything. It's just the greatest rapper possibly of all time pouring his heart out over this elaborate narrative about fame, about oppression, about living in America as a black man, about materialism, about depression, guilt, about all of that, and encapsulated in this fucking masterpiece of like experimental instrumentals that you can't find anywhere else, and probably still can right now. Like, you know, there's some people trying, and you know, hip hop is still good, but nothing has touched To Pimp a Butterfly just because of the sheer amount of people, amount of talent poured into this thing. From like early funk, like very early funk people. Like, I mean, okay, George Clanton isn't like early funk, but like, you know, he's a really big funk icon. And then to the younger people like Flying Lotus, fucking Thundercat, like all of this talent poured into every single one of these songs. And you just got a masterpiece. Like, I don't know what the fuck to say. And considering that you haven't even read the Call of Cthulhu or any of the real stories, well, I have, and I didn't like it.
Well, I have read like some of I feel like 4 or 5 Lovecraft short stories, but not specifically Cthulhu.
Oh, okay. Well, but yeah, I mean, I haven't read anything besides Cthulhu and Lovecraft's catalog, but I've heard about it. But still, you haven't read the original text, and I have listened to Pimp a Butterfly at least 20 times, and it's better. So I'm moving to Pimp a Butterfly. Like, there's no fucking contest. You agree with that?
Okay.
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 Like you're tacit agreeing. Oh god, the next one
It's
is gonna
called
fucking kill me.
acquiescence.
Acquiescence. All right. Dumplings versus Bloom Into You.
I've never had dumplings in my life, so I
you're
have
going
no
Bloom
say in
Into
this.
You?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me do dumplings manifesto. Dumplings has been my favorite food for as long as I remember. So obviously, besides everything
What
else,
are dumplings?
dumplings are stuff. It's like, how do I describe dumplings to people who don't know what the fuck dumplings are? So it's like minced meat and vegetables packaged together, wrapped together in this how do you call it? Not wheat, but flour. Wrapped together
Flour
in
is everything.
Well, flour.
There's wheat. Yeah.
Yeah, flour. I don't know the fuck. Just I don't know the scientific names for it. Like,
This is like the white balls. You like white balls? Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but like there's a specific shape. You know gyoza?
Yeah, I do from Dorohedoro.
Yeah, gyoza is dumplings. Gyoza is basically dumplings.
Oh,
so
okay.
There's that. Yeah, fucking gyoza dumplings are so good. So.
Okay, but like, aren't dumplings like moist on the outside?
No. Yes, they are moist. Yes.
Oh no.
I mean.
Oh man.
I don't know. Yeah, I think there's a few people who don't like the texture of it. Like my sister doesn't really care for it, but
I hate it. I hate anything moist going into my mouth.
I mean, it's moist, but like it's not like super moist, and it's usually kind of dry. Okay, it's kind of slippery. It's kind of like it's like.
Oh man, you're not helping. Slippery.
Okay, well,
that fucking sucks. Okay. I mean, it does have meat, which I like.
Yeah,
I like meat.
You know what? I think I'm doing a really bad job of describing dumplings.
You are,
especially
definitely.
Especially to a person who hasn't like ever had it. So what I'll say is, come over to my house in 20 years, and I'll make you some, and you'll be like, oh
if you have
God,
a house,
right.
sure.
If I have a house, maybe I'll live under under a fucking bridge, and then I'll still make dumplings. So dumplings. They're just the perfect food, outside of the texture, just because you can put like anything in dumplings. Yeah, there's meat, there's vegetables, all kinds of combinations like beef, pork, one of my favorite combinations is carrots and beef.
Okay, but like if that's what dumplings are, so if you go to the essence of dumplings, you can like pick out the meat, you can take out the vegetables, you can put anything into it. So they're not essential. So what makes a dumpling essential is the moist outside, isn't it? Or the flour? Or yeah.
No, it's also about the particular way it's cooked and how like when you how do you say, you bite into a dumpling, there's like those like there's a soup flowing out, it's like juicy in that way. And that thing is also like, that is also the appeal of dumplings. So it's not just about like the materials in there, it's about the way they're cooked. I think I guess you can call it boiling it. Yeah, boiling it is I'm really bad at cooking terms. Like I'm a man, damn it. I don't step into the goddamn kitchen.
Is it
steaming it is. I don't like steaming it. Like some people like it. Steaming we mostly do for like pork buns, like buns. Right.
Yeah.
We don't do that for dumplings. It's mostly boiling. I like it more. Some people also steam them, but I don't like it. So yeah, dumplings, basically like perfect combination. You can put anything in there. Maybe not even meat. Maybe you just put like scrambled eggs and some vegetables, or you can put like some other stuff in it. Very versatile, and the way you eat them is also very versatile. You can add vinegar, soy sauce, all kinds of like.
You can shove them up your ass. Yeah.
And you can have like, all kinds of condiments, including lao gan ma, which is another like it's like a very popular Chinese.
Is it the John Cena meme thing?
No, I mean no, yeah, I think he did. Yeah, he did the video.
Yeah.
Like it's just saying, I love lao gan ma. Lao gan ma is actually genuinely good. So I'm so mad that that's the.
I
only
thought it was like
perception they have.
Chinese Vegemite.
My heart, I'm going to kill you. No.
Okay, I mean I'm a picky eater, so I'm not very convinced. But sure, let's move on to Bloom Into You, which I have read.
Yeah. I think even though I think I love dumplings more than anything, I will be satisfied if Bloom Into You moves on because we both read it. It's better. But yeah, talk to me about Bloom Into You. I haven't heard you talk about it.
Yeah, I read it. It's probably it is my first manga ever that I read. I read it because it's a Yuri, and it has a sex scene at the end, right?
It does.
I didn't read Citrus because it specifically does not have a sex scene.
What do you mean? Citrus is full of sex scenes. All of it is sexual assault. That's the entire manga. You haven't read this?
No, but that's not sex. They're not sex scenes.
Okay, well. I don't even want to debate. Okay, so yeah, you read it because you like gay girls kissing. I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you think about it though?
I didn't think it was bad, but I didn't think it was particularly good either. From what I remember, I don't really like where the main character went. I don't really like the foundation of their relationship. Really, it's just like I think. Her name is, I think.
Yes.
She's like at first she's it's like one-sided kind of arrangement, right? And then afterwards she also starts falling in love with her, but at that point it gets kind of sour, and then the sex scene happens, and then like they're back, something like that, right?
God damn it. Okay, never mind. I thought. Okay, so. Yeah, you kind of got the first part right. So you is like kind of, I mean, she kind of doubts she's like asexual, like she doesn't understand romance, she doesn't really know how it works, and then suddenly, because she's like, I think it's mostly because like she isn't like very caught up with like, because so the other person, Toko, the other person that is the other deuteragonist, the love interest, she's the student council president, fucking accomplished in everything ever. But Yu doesn't really see that as like a thing to like to really admire over. She thinks she's a normal person and all that. Just that whole like dynamic that's pretty tried and true. And Toko was like, okay, yeah, let's be my girlfriend. It's like, okay, well I don't care, but let's see how it goes. And then eventually, after Yu actually gets attached and like likes Toko is like kind of hesitating. He's like, fuck. I wanted this relationship from this like kind of one-sided, non-committal aspect to it. Now that you actually like me, it forces me to confront parts of myself that I didn't like, and just that relationship, like how Toko just doesn't think she deserves to be loved in any way. Like, oh god, it's pretty heartbreaking in aspects. And then eventually, yes, they do have sex scenes and they make up. When they make up
Yeah.
and then they have sex. Okay, let's clarify.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I don't think it's a bad manga, but I don't particularly enjoy it for anything more than like, you know, a passive. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I get it. For me, it's so for me the journey kind of started the same. It's the first like I guess the first romance manga I ever tried to read were all Yuri manga because I was like, oh my god, women can be gay, nice. And I was like, I just read a lot of them. Most of them were pretty bad. I read Citrus, and that is just oh god. It's a show about how one girl keeps raping the other girl, and the other girl starts liking the rape, and now they're in the relationship, but also they're stepsisters, so there's that to jack off to. So
Ooh.
I don't know anymore. I remember being really invested when I was like 13 because I didn't know what good stories looked back then. I also read stuff like Kase-san, like just you know, there's a lot of like wholesome, normal stuff there.
Did you make a video about your manga?
Yeah, it was like the first, like the second video I ever made called "Gay Anime Girls." I'm thinking of remaking that one day if I have more knowledge. Into,
Definitely do.
Right. Yeah, but
I'll remake my Naruto video.
one day. And what I appreciated about Yuri now that I didn't before is that in straight romances it was kind of like. Nothing was really that how do you say, like there's not really a very detailed description of the process of falling in love because once these two kind of people, you know, get together and then, you know, spend a lot of time together, they're like, okay, well, they're fucking probably. So like there's just that kind of assumption because of heteronormativity or whatever the fuck. While in Yuri manga there's usually like a, you know, a pretty interesting I wouldn't say just because I don't know how the experience is actually like, but I'll say like pretty detailed description of like how these feelings of like maybe admiration, affection turn into romantic love. Now, obviously, there's a lot of caveats because you know a lot of it is just, hey, woman, you want to fuck, and the other one's like, oh, let's do it. I'm gay, I guess. Like a lot of them is like very not detailed, and they're like pretty much just fetishizations of lesbian relationships for straight people. Like, but that's what's so interesting about Bloom Into You is that even though it starts off like similar to that, it actually does commit to an exploration of sexuality, of romance, and it was just the first one I've ever seen do that in like a, you know, in the right way, and probably the only one I've seen like ever so far. Besides like the lighthearted ones, like there's this one Chinese one I really liked that got cut because China hates gay people. That was just kind of like, you know, wholesome. I like you. Let's be gay, that kind of thing. But yeah, when it comes to a serious kind of drama, Bloom Into You is the best one that does this, like, you know, realization of, oh, I might be homosexual. Okay, that's so bad. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
I think I definitely agree. Like, I think when you like look at romance stuff, I think I prefer non-straight romances to straight romances because I think non-straight romances are more interesting to me, I think.
Yeah.
I recently saw the film All of Us Strangers. It's about like a gay guy who's like confronting his trauma with his parents or something.
Right.
And he has a romance with his neighbor who's also gay. And like their scenes, I mean, there are some very disgusting scenes. I'm not gonna describe it.
Okay.
Certain something licking. So, but like, it just feels like they feel. What do you? I don't want to use the word equal, but you know.
Yeah, it feels like more intimate. Like
yeah, exactly. Yeah, as if it for like a man and a woman, it feel staged for some reason, which this one doesn't, and like most non-straight stuff that I've seen don't, which I think is what romance should be.
I think a part of it is just that, you know, it's kind of expected, or like,
exactly.
like media conditioning over so many years. That it unfortunately is that way, and I'm glad that like, you know, queer media is able to be like a window into like more like actual how relationships work. I feel like maybe queer relationships actually queer
I want to have a gay relationship with a woman.
All right, that's what we're into then, sure. But more things about Bloom Into You.
That's not what I meant. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, enough. I know you want to be a closeted gay while being married to a woman. That's your whole thing.
No, that's not what I meant.
But okay, more about Bloom Into You. Let's not talk about your closetedness. So
No.
yeah. So
Yes.
Bloom
Go
Into
ahead.
You.
Go ahead.
Now, Bloom Into You isn't only good that it explores queer romance in a way that's authentic and dramatic and like interesting and has like characters that go through issues of self-worth and like, you know, facing like just like directionless in life and all of that. It's also a pretty good way to like normalize gay relationships because yes, even though it is a romance, it is a story about coming to terms with being gay. A lot of the characters just coincidentally happens to be also gay because it's a gay romance, and that's just the thing. Like I don't know, it's not like a thing where like everybody else is straight. So you get to see gay relationships portrayed in a healthy way and in like a mature way, because there's a lot of like you know 20-year-old gay lesbian couples who are doing their things, and they often act as mentors for the main characters, and there's like
I remember that. Yeah.
It normalizes gay relationships in a way that I really appreciate, because these people are actually cool. Like these people run cafes that do really cool shit, but they're also gay, and that's just, you know, that's so cool. I wish homophobic people would read Bloom Into You, basically.
They're probably okay.
They probably hate it, yeah.
Yeah.
Bloom Into You.
They'll probably burn it, but yeah.
That's right.
I think I'm okay with having Bloom Into You go win this time.
Yeah, same. I mean, you've
fuck
never
food,
tried dumplings.
or like not fuck food, but like fuck food. Okay.
I understand. Bloom Into You moves on. All right, next we got A Cruel Angel's Thesis. And
both are
Daigo
mine.
Daigo
Okay.
Perry. Right.
Okay, so
I'm
very
going
quick.
I'm going with fucking Angel's Thesis. I don't care about Perry enough.
Okay, A Cruel Angel Thesis. I put it in because I already mentioned this, but we have to cut that out, I think. So it's like there is nothing like it in any anime openings ever, or like even in like any music that I've heard. It's very like alluring and enigmatic, and like it starts with like an almost like a rhythmic monologue, right? Like that thing, and then
Zaum, that's the student.
And then it then turns to the main. I'm not a music nerd like you are, but it turns to the main thing, and then
enough,
the animations itself is very.
I get it.
Yeah, the animation is also like very all those the overlays and like the different blend modes. I think they definitely did, right?
No, like I think it was just a bunch of fast cuts. Like, oh wait, no, you're talking about the section of them like floating in the space.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that is overlay. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that stuff. And it makes me feel like I'm floating in a black void, naked and cold.
Right, like you described like the feeling this opening puts you as like a very ethereal one.
Indeed, yeah.
Right. Now, opposed to that is the Daigo Perry. Do you want to explain it to people who don't know what it is?
Daigo Perry is, I think, Evo Moment 5, I think, and like some Evo tournament, like during some year. I'm not sure. I'm not like that into fighting games yet. But it's a moment where Justin Wong and Daigo, who are like big guys in the Street Fighter fighting.
Umehara.
Daigo Umehara, the Beast, they call him. And they go up against each other. It's like, the US versus Japan. It's like a very big deal. These people are incredibly passionate about what they do, and like the fans watching them are also incredibly passionate. And like, so the reason I like Daigo Perry is basically, it's like an impossible moment coming true. It's like a miracle, basically. Daigo is like a sliver of health, and Justin Wong like does like a 5 kick thing. I haven't played Street Fighter. I've only played Guilty Gear, and I'm also probably gonna take up Tekken soon. But Justin Wong does like a 15 kick move thing special, I think, and then it's an incredibly hard thing to parry each strike manually, but Daigo does it and kills Wong, who has like more than half his health bar left, which is insane, and like everyone loses their shit. And I really really like it because one, it's a very good moment of like community in like gaming itself. The fighting game community is like a huge, it's like a big communal thing that I really like that, you know, community is good. And also another thing is that the amount of like dedication and like just passion for video games, like pressing buttons and watching people hit each other, is insane, and it inspires me, honestly.
I also really like how Daigo, like, I think he didn't really take this moment that seriously. He was like, oh, it was just a thing that I was supposed to do in that moment. It just shows his mastery of that game. But I think a Cruel Angel's Thesis moves on, just for me personally.
Yeah, I mean, like another thing about like fighting games is that it's probably the closest thing anime fights can get to like reality.
Perhaps.
Like definitely, because like, you know, like the what do you call it, stereotypical anime fights where the people are like inside their head calculating what move to do next. They're trying to predict the other's move. All that shit really really fucking happens in like actually good fighting game fights. I mean, this one,
you don't think it happens in like MMA or boxing? It also does. I don't think
it does, but it's not really that cool to see, is it?
Yeah, they're not throwing fireballs, unfortunately, or throwing dolphins.
Yeah.
So where are you leaning?
I'll also lean towards Cruel Angel's Thesis, but Daigo Perry is a goated moment, and I really like it.
That's right. All right, next song we have Good Lives Make Bad Stories and Hive Mind. So
Okay.
For context, Good Lives Make Bad Stories. For
make
context,
bad stories.
Yes, Good Lives Make Bad Stories is a a lyric from Twin Fantasy, Sober to Death. Now, explain why you put that quote on here.
I put that quote there because I relate to it at a level that I cannot explain. It's like every once a week, that quote just like, not quote, but the lyric, the line just comes back to me every time I think about, my own life and like other people. This thing comes back to me. Most of my friends, they live good lives. And sometimes, not just my friends, like some people, when I look at some people, okay, this will probably sound very bad, but like when I look at some people, they're having a good time. Some of them, like, I really don't want to say. Yeah, some are having a good time, have good lives.
And they're boring.
They are. They really are. So this is a justification for that.
So it's not even like a reflection of your own suffering. It's a contentment towards the world.
Yeah, it is.
This is your reflection of this lyric, this devastating lyric. It's just like project that negativity out to the world.
No, wait. There's two things. It's twofold. All right. I'm not like you. I'm a dialectic man. I'm not about one thing. There's two things. And another thing is, I mean, my life is also pretty good. So my life is also quite boring, if you ask me. But that's the reason.
So is that the dialectical thing?
No,
okay.
I won't mention the dialectical thing because
why?
Actually, I will stick with my contempt because I think my contempt is strong. It will win against Hive Mind.
No, it won't.
It will.
I think this line is very good. Like, it definitely resonated with me when I first heard it. But it's kind of Twin Fantasy is like so ingrained into my memory, all parts of it, so this part doesn't seem as strong to me right now, but it's still a really good line. I don't know if I agree with the sentiment, because I also feel like bad lives also make for bad stories. Sometimes reflecting on like my worst moments, like the parts where like, oh god, I'm just doing a bunch of horrible shit, sabotaging myself.
Oh, wait. Okay. Actually, I think I also agree with Good Lives Make Bad Stories because I think like my life is good. I think a lot of our people that I know's life is good, but I think them being bad stories is a good thing. Do you get what I mean?
I do agree, yeah.
Because like, I think that having a life that's like every single character flaw being overcome by the end, I would want to fucking kill myself if that were my life. I like being like, you know, contemptuous and negative and pessimistic and all the bad things about me.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Alright.
so if it were a good story, then I'd overcome and like be a good person by the end, which that's boring.
I mean, okay, so your idea of like good stories is like a story that ends well.
No, a good story is a good story that has that's a narrative arc that's a lot
ends
like
well.
ends not specifically well, but it follows through to the end in like a predestined narrative path.
Okay. Well, for me, like, I guess stories, yeah, is basically like that. Like, when this line reminds me of like basically how everybody views stories. Like, stories have to be exciting, they have to be dramatic, they have to be like, you know, something really important happens. Well, yeah, I just feel like that's not a good way to live life if you actually try to do that. Like, if you actually have revelations that impact your life every fucking week, then it would be really tiring, right?
My thing is definitely along the self improvement part. I don't like the self improvement, even if it's like positive self improvement. I like being. Yeah, I don't know where this is coming from, but
you're digging yourself like a further hole. Like, thank God nobody's watching this podcast. Okay.
Yeah, hive mind. Let's go. Let's move on.
Okay. Good lives make backstories. Let me just say one more thing. I don't really agree because I am CJDX's son, and I think that, you know, just my own experience, when you're creating art, it is pretty fucking impossible to do that when you're in a really bad headspace. Now, good lives make backstories. This is not exactly what it's referring to. I'm just saying, like, I don't want to glorify being in a bad space because it's like somehow it makes a good story when usually it doesn't. It just kind of perpetuates into a worse and worse story. So don't do that. Don't be bad.
I don't think anybody's like living bad lives in order to make good stories.
Yeah, but like it's a line that's supposed to be like comfort people, right? It's a line.
Yeah, it's a comfort, not a like a call to action.
Right, but I feel like I want to call to the action to the opposite end. So I'm just saying, don't be content with your bad lives, people. Please try to live a good one. I'm sure you'll feel much better when you do.
I don't think so.
Well, in my opinion, at least. All right,
Hive Mind.
I love Hive Mind.
You've made me watch a couple of their videos.
Yeah.
I don't think they're bad. I actually like a lot of their humor stuff, but I just they don't really appeal to me as much as they appeal to you. So.
Yeah, I think I like Hive Mind because it's just a vibe of like two friends who are really funny and I have like a great chemistry together, making shit up as they go. And sometimes like it leans more into the theatrics when they just make shit up about their lives. Sometimes it's more like, you know, just like semantics. Like they have a really good sense of humor that balances both being fucking ridiculous and just being kind of clever. And I just really love that about them. And also, they're kind of like a look into American culture that I don't really, maybe I just don't really get to see in the circles I hang around with, because like, you know, I fucking watch anime YouTubers. They don't care about American culture, but like these people, they, you know, High Mind, Riley and Graydon, they talk about like football players or some like fucking celebrity pop culture that's like relevant to them, and I feel like, well, that's kind of interesting because I don't really hear about that. There's also that, and also they talk about music.
I think like that's the exact reason why I have no interest in them. It's the American culture. I have zero interest in them.
That's weird. I don't know. I think I don't care about football, like American football at all. Not the band, the sport. But I like hearing them talk about it just because, you know, they're interesting guys, I feel like. But yeah, they're big American boys, and I think a lot of people relate to that. I don't. I just think it's interesting. So I like Hive Mind. So I think.
Yeah, I don't relate to that. Neither do I find it interesting.
Damn. Yeah, that's sad. I don't think Hive Mind, in my mind, Hive Mind is not getting beat by a line from Twin Fantasy.
In my mind, they are.
Okay, so how are we gonna do this? So let's see.
Let's do it. Okay. We'll talk first. If we can't come into an agreement, we'll do a toss.
Okay, yeah, we can. So, Hive Mind is a whole channel. They have like 400 videos, and 400 videos. I bet that the collective, okay, so the first like 100, not really, they're kind of like, doing some different stuff, and they're not really coming into their own. So 300 videos of pure entertainment. Now, in my opinion, like I've shown you shit, like their humor is really good. At least you'll laugh for like, their videos are getting longer, but like usually it's like 20 minutes. You'll laugh for like 5 minutes. Like a good chunk of their humor is really good, and like without even music knowledge
Maybe,
or like
yeah,
cultural
yeah.
context, it's good. And yeah, if we do a simple math on it, that's how many hours of entertainment of like really good comedy that should be actually like studied. Like especially because it's all improv. Will Toledo is an awkward kid who wrote this line when he was 19. These people are like in their 30s and they're making really funny jokes. And yeah, one line cannot just beat the entertainment that High Mind continues to bring to so many people. They're going on tour. I wish I really wish I want to go there.
Sure, I guess I'll give it to you this time.
Nice. All right, High Mind moves on. Yes, Riley and Graydon are my two dads, and then there's also CJDX.
Okay.
All right, we have Being and Professional Sky's record review. So why did you put Being on here?
Being is the is basically the beginning of logic. It is the beginning of the science of logic, and it is utter presuppositionlessness. And it's like it is the most absolute thing ever, but also it's not, because being is nothing, and by being nothing, it is no longer absolute.
So what did you like about it?
The thing I like about it is that okay, this ties back into Hegel, and he is writing the Science of Logic, which is a book about logic. What is logic? Well, up until like this time, logic is whatever you like. You have when I say logic, you have a certain, what do you call it? A certain something. You know something about it. Even if you don't know the definition, the textbook definition of logic, you know something. You know what logic means. It does not sound like gibberish to you, right?
Yes.
But that's the exact problem with like the science of logic, which is that we know it, but we don't really know it. But since we have this like vague semblance of it, we basically put everything on top of that foundation, which itself is just too vague to support anything. And like our entire system of thought and the way of understanding the world is flawed, because we have no idea. We're just going off with feelings and like weird traces of like what things mean. And so what Hegel does is that he just starts with nothing, like absolutely nothing, no presuppositions whatsoever. And that's where he ends up with being. And the most beautiful thing about being is that he finds that being is not the absolute. It's not actually the beginning, because the being cannot exist within itself. Because what is being? Being means it is like being ceases to be, right?
Yes.
Yeah, being ceases to be. It ceases to be, and then it becomes, or it comes to be, nothing. But when you say nothing, you are like implying something will come out of nothing. Therefore, nothing ceases to be nothing and comes to be being. And therefore, like both of the concepts are like interlinked. And then we have another problem, which is that then what's the absolute? We're stuck again. And this is like why I like philosophy very much. I can't really. It's very ironic.
Yeah, what is it that you like about philosophy through this example?
Yeah, it's basically that it's thinking something that's like no one in their wildest dreams would ever like think about, but through thinking that, just prove everything that we ever know completely like wrong and like just erroneous. How do you
fuck?
Yeah, just whatever. Like, okay, thinking something that we would never like ever think about, And through thinking that like impossible thing, which is, like this weird concept of being and like nothing and absoluteness, and through that we are developing like we're critiquing other already existing world thought systems, and we're breaking them down into how wrong they are, because they start with presuppositions, and which is like wrong.
You're going into this. This is the kind of interesting thing, because you're going into this with a lot of like, I don't want to say presuppositions, but like moral stances. You're like saying something like something is wrong, like this is wrong, like all of it is wrong. I feel like
no. I'm not. Okay, that's because I'm not really. If you want me to be like completely presuppositionless, then I'd have to recite you the science of logic.
Yeah, I don't need that. I'm just saying like. So
obviously I have to presuppose. Obviously I have to presuppose something in order to like.
You're missing the point. What I was trying to say is that I asked you, why do you like philosophy, and you said it's to prove that other things are wrong.
No, that's not what I said. I said that like okay, it's not necessary to prove other things wrong. It's just it's necessary to like start from no presuppositions. It's necessary to like assume nothing.
Okay. Yeah.
And when you assume nothing, you realize that other people, they do assume things, and through those assumptions, that's exactly where they're wrong. And when I say wrong, I'm not presupposing like a moral wrongness. What I mean is that like they start somewhere not at the ground, right?
So you like philosophy because it reaches you to the ground.
Yeah, it starts from the ground. Like even in sciences, you presuppose there are like certain rules that you have to presuppose in order to like actually believe what the sciences are telling you. You have to presuppose that natural laws will continue to be natural laws tomorrow and the day after that, and then for like 1,000 million years in the future they'll continue to be there. There's no way to like prove it right now other than like presuppose, probably. Right? But there's nothing like that in philosophy.
Damn, that's a pretty compelling case. I mean, Professor Sky. Okay, I'll just say I think the being is winning this.
Yeah.
But I'll go on a bit about Professor Sky, because I think what he does is also interesting. He's also an academic, just obviously not to that level. And what I like about his channel, especially his music channel, is that he has said that his mission basically is to prove that human genius is everywhere. So he would review something that general rap he reviews mostly hip-hop music. He would review something that general rap snobs would be like, oh my god, it's a masterpiece, like all the underground alternative weird shit that people like. But he would also review the most like, he would reviews like Ice Spice, like all these like really popular kind of vapid rappers that nobody would take seriously. He takes them seriously. And he kind of goes back into the hip-hop culture and saying that hip-hop has always been hip-hop. If you are supposing that hip-hop has this divide between the popular shit that's bad and the good shit that's good, you're already kind of like separating you're wrong. Like hip-hop has always been both of these things together. It's kind of dialectical in that sense. And he proves that through his analysis of some pretty fucking like his most popular videos are on like Playboy Cardi, where he takes it very seriously and he says Playboy Cardi is like post music or something. Like he goes wild with it. And I just think he does make a lot of interesting points, and I recommend anybody who likes hip hop music to check it out. But yeah, it's not being, unfortunately.
Okay.
Being is too broad. God, being is going against Hive Mind. Jesus Christ. Oh god.
That's the end of Hive Mind, everybody.
Perhaps. All right.
Okay.
Guitar and Majima sings 24 Hour Cinderella. Let me just talk about my guitar for a second. It's not gonna be too long. So my guitar, I started playing guitar like fucking 10 years ago. Holy shit, 10 years, Jesus Christ, 10 years ago. I played it on and off. The new guitar, well, not new, this guitar has been with me for like 6 years, the one I have right now. I remember distinctly the day I got it. I wasn't very happy about it because, at that time my parents were forcing me. I didn't even think I liked music back then, but they were like, play guitar. I was like, okay. And I remember them sacrificing so much for me. Like, so basically, what I like about guitar is that it reminds me so much of my life experience. It's like so much of my life. And also, it's now a way for me to emotionally kind of express in a way that I couldn't before, because fucking I like music. I like playing stupid indie rock chords and the riffs, and I just really appreciate that as both a reminder of where I came from and also an emotional outlet.
Nice.
So how's Majima gonna beat this?
Majima singing 24 Hour Cinderella in Yakuza 0 is a very memorable moment for me, because I mean, first off, like, Majima is a character who's like endured like hell in the Yakuza. And we start to play as him when he's like completely displaced from his life. He's basically forced to be a different person. He's basically forced to like lose his mind, basically. And I'm pretty sure at the beginning of Yakuza, like Yakuza Kiwami first, I haven't played it yet, but I will soon. He's basically the Joker, baby. Kind of like that. He's like completely out of his mind. And this moment when he sings, it's like I don't really know. It's like a very funny moment, and like such a dude. It's like is this like is Yakuza guy, and he's been through hell. He's singing 24 Hour Cinderella, and he's like dancing around in like roller skates, I think, like a pop idol basically. And I think I wrote about it
Yes,
in Medium, and I wrote about how it's we need more stuff like this in a world where all kinds of media are becoming passive. What do you call it? Passive, aloof, apathetic stuff, like, you know, stuff that's supposed to, like, you know, the world is going to shit, haha, what can I do? Let me go back to my room and like spend 24 hours on the internet. That kind of mentality, like a cynical mentality. I think this is exactly that, exactly opposite of that. It knows what it is. It's not making fun of it. It just is, and I like it for it.
So it's like an emotionally sincere moment that feels out of place in the story, but also it's so sincere that you can't help but love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit, I mean, my story doesn't have that that good of a conclusion right now. I'm unwilling to give it to Majima, honestly. I want to play Yakuza 0 really badly. So
yes, do it.
Let's move on to guitar. Maybe once I become huge guitarist, maybe one day, but not
yeah,
now.
maybe you can beat Majima's one eye with your guitar strings.
Exactly. Oh god, this one, action button, and Gurren Lagann opening. Action button wins. Bye bye.
Ooh.
Bye bye. No.
Yeah, I think
shot, dude.
Okay.
Shot.
Action button. Are like, we both love action button. We both love Tim Rogers.
I'm just saying. The use of Claire de Lune in like a lot of his videos is better than any use of Sarayo Days and Gurren Lagann. I'm willing to bet.
Don't go there. Don't you dare go there.
No, I'm willing
to give it to action button, but I don't agree with what you just said. Gurren Lagann opening, playing at the last fight is I don't know. I don't want to say cry, but that's not exactly the expression.
Fucking Boku no Natsuyasumi made me cry, and
fuck
it was
off!
just like
Shut up! Shut up!
It was just Claire de Lune and like footage of like planes and stuff in his narration, and the Gurren Lagann has to do like such an expensive animation or something, but like Action Button's writing is just able to do that for me.
It does not mean anything. I'm willing to give it to. I'm willing to give it to Action Button, but Gurren Lagann's opening is incredible, and it playing at the final fight is one of the best moments ever. That's
Claire
it.
de Lune is a classic.
Shut up! Fuck you!
Centuries.
Kill yourself!
Gurren Lagann wasn't even like the opening isn't even like 20 years old.
Shut up! This is the end. This is the end of the pale. This is truly the end of the pale. This is so funny because we both agree Action Button should go on.
Yes,
you're the one.
I'm just saying it's way better than what you think it is.
No, you're saying bullshit.
You're not even like okay, I'm trying to make a point, like connect to a point, and you're just like, no, fuck you, kill yourself. You're not even trying to argue with me.
No, I mean, I do agree what you're no, I don't agree. I see what you're saying, and I think what you're saying is true, but comparatively that is not true. Gurren Lagann's opening is simply one of the best things ever and does not compare. But Action Button does
Boku no
win. Does win.
Natsuyasumi review.
Shut up.
Is the
No.
most I've ever felt
It is-
emotion
yes,
towards a YouTube
sure,
video.
but sure, yes. But
You know what's gonna be
Gurren
fucking-
Lagann opening, yes.
Gurren Lagann, when I don't know, Blu-rays and DVDs come.
You
die
haven't
out.
even seen Gurren Lagann, okay?
I know everything about Gurren Lagann because I
does
got
not
spoiled when I
okay.
was like
That
10
does not
years
matter.
old.
That does not mean anything. That does not mean anything. You have to at least have watched it firsthand to have like. Okay, you can have an opinion of it without watching something, but like to have like such an like essential opinion, you have to have watched it. Sorry, your opinion does not count. Action Button does win, but Gurren Lagann's opening is simply one of the best things ever.
You know when
Shut up.
when a century later
No.
and like
No.
aliens discover our civilization, what are they gonna focus on? They're gonna focus on YouTube because YouTube is current art. YouTube is the state of the art. Art.
YouTube is gonna
art
wither
form right
away
now.
when I come into power, and
YouTube-
every
YouTube is now-
TV ever will
YouTube is the
play
current
only my
zeitgeist.
videos. Shut up. It does not matter.
The current
Zeitgeist, fuck you.
They're gonna study.
No.
Professor Sky. Let's talk about him more again. Like his video, he has a series.
Professor
called, like,
Sky
something,
is
something.
dead. He lost to being. Shut up.
He has a series of videos called Something's a Good YouTuber, and he says like 50 years later, scholars are gonna study YouTube. They're gonna be like, how? Yeah, because YouTube is a perfect
No,
encapsulation
they're
of
not
the culture
gonna.
of that
They're
time.
not gonna.
And actually
They're not
what
gonna
is
study
be more
YouTube.
important-
They're gonna study YouTubers. They're gonna study the people who made. There won't
What
be
is the
YouTube
difference
videos. It would just melt into art or
What
like
is the
it would
difference
melt
between
into
YouTubers
media.
and the YouTube videos, especially when they put so much of themselves into the videos? Like, I don't know why you're like doing separation there. Okay,
There is. I mean, there is definitely a difference. I mean, it depends on what YouTuber you're talking about. But Action Button
Yeah,
wins.
Action Button
Gurren Lagann
definitely, bro.
opening is one of the best things ever.
Fuck you. Fuck, Action Button moves on, but oh my god.
No,
Well,
Action
the
Button
audience.
wins. But Gurren
Yes.
Lagann.
Action Button moves on. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Hyoka analysis by replay value. And
It's
My
so
Broken
weird.
Mario.
I agreed that Action Button will
Yeah,
move
you're
on.
just not agreeing enough with me.
And I'm supposed to be the debate bro here. Okay.
There's only a few things I get this passionate about in life. Okay, so let me have this. Hyoka analysis series by replay value and My Broken Mariko. And here's where I have to make a confession. Hyoka is like my first favorite anime, and it's also where my name came from, Karis, right?
Yes.
Because that's the main ethos of the series.
Yeah.
But I would say, even though I liked it when I first saw it, and I felt like, oh, there's something definitely there, it was the analysis series like by replay value on YouTube that really put it into perspective and made me realize, because like intuitively I thought, okay, there's definitely something there that I'm missing. The story is so well constructed, there's so much ethos in it, but I just can't understand it because I'm fucking 12. But then I watched the analysis series by replay value, which really put everything into perspective, and basically, it showed me the value of analysis, which is what I'm doing right now. Like, so without this analysis series, I would not be here right now. Which depends on how heated our arguments get. Might be a good thing, but I don't know. I love it. And then there's My Broken Mariko, which is a manga that means personally a lot to me for a lot of reasons that I'll get into in the video soon. It involves grief and trauma and human connection. A lot of bullshit. It's also very short, and the fact that it's able to do that in such a short amount of time is just very impressive. But I think Hyoka analysis.
I've watched
series beats it
neither,
out.
so I got no say in it. Although I've seen Hyoka the anime itself.
Yeah. I think let's go Hyoka, because Hyoka, I think, just value-wise, it was more important to me as an anime watcher and a person. So next up we have, let's see, that one story about a guy dreaming in. It cuts off here. I forgot something. And then Charlie Chaplin's speech from the.
Great
cuts
dictator.
off. So why is it so good? Both of these are yours, so I have no really idea.
So the one story about the guy dreaming from the YouTube channel Shrouded Hand is so this is like technically related to Super Eye Patch Wolf, because this is a story from his 2022 Halloween list or something. It's a story where a guy is sleeping. Okay, you definitely have to like watch the video to like get the complete feel of it, because I'm obviously not gonna like provide the ambiance or anything like that. But it's like a guy he falls asleep. He dreams he's in a forest, and like he can hear an orchestra somewhere, and then he follows the voice, the sound of the orchestra, and then and then he as he gets closer, the orchestra is like getting more weird and like distorted and like demonic kinda. And then he can hear like a baby crying and then a woman screaming, and then he's panicking. He calls he takes his phone out and he calls his home. No one picks up, and then he wakes up. And then the next day he looks at his home landline and like he can hear the same noise. Hello, are you?
You're just like kind of describing it, but I don't get. So what's the appeal for you?
Yeah, the appeal is it's probably like, I don't know why, but when I first heard it, it's like I'm not really affected by online internet like creepypastas or like horror stories, because I grew up with them, and even like when I was a child, they don't really affect me. I'm only like interested in them at a level where they don't really affect me, but they're kind of cool. But this one really did affect me for some weird reason, because now that I think about it, it's not really that big of a deal, but still, for some reason it did, and it's a really, really cool story. And I think the thing about the orchestra being like distorted, and like the horrification of the orchestra, or like the horrification of like
you sound like a YouTube video essay. The X-ification of X.
I am literally video essay. So yeah, the horrification of choirs and like pure things. Pure. that sounds like a knockoff of poor things, but yeah, pure, like some things that are supposed to be pure, like the church, or like choir, and like orchestras, and like taking that and making it, like twisting it. That's incredibly appealing to me. I think like this little story is a very apt example of such a thing. But it definitely lose against Charlie Chaplin's speech from The Great Dictator, which is one of my favorite speeches of all time. It's first off, it's from a movie called The Great Dictator. That movie itself is incredibly relevant in studying media, because it's one of the first films to like actually use sound, like really not one of the first films, but one of the more it's Charlie Chaplin. Other people have used sound before, but Charlie Chaplin like actually embracing sound in his films. This one is probably one of the first. He has like we've had in like City Lights, we've had noises of the radio, but that's it. And also he sings at the end of City Lights, or is it Modern Times? I don't remember. Have you watched any Charlie Chaplin films? No, right?
But I remember the titles, I think.
I grew up watching them. So
I see.
Yeah.
Grew up watching, really.
Yeah. And then The Great Dictator, he basically just like he embraces sound. I think Zizek also uses Charlie Chaplin's journey with sound in his 9-hour lecture, and then The Great Dictator is also like a very big political statement as well, because this came out during the Nazi reign, and like this one is a direct addressal. Is that even a word? I'll use it. I'll make it a word. It is a direct addressing of Hitler and like not the Nazis. And the speech itself, you can like look it up online. It's wonderfully acted, and it's like it's a big statement coming out from like one of the biggest names in the film industry at that time, and like one of the biggest names ever in pop culture ever, right?
Damn.
So yeah, and like I'm pretty sure I learned the whole thing by heart when I was like a kid. Yeah, I did. I'm really passionate about it. So yeah.
No, I have a counterpoint. Charlie Chaplin is British, so I think the other guy should move on. All right, let's move Chaplin.
Okay, actually, the other guy is, I think,
is also British.
Irish.
Well, okay. Well, let's move on to let's move to colonizers still. All right. So Teens of Denial, and say it. I don't want to say it. What is it? Fucking.
I don't want to say it either because it's un jour je serai de retour près de toi, I think.
Yes, and one day I'll be by your side. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. This is kind of hard because one is a pretty important quote from Disco Elysium, which is gonna be here, later. Both are favorite things probably, and then there's Teens of Denial, which is a very solid rock album, and I just it's kind of hard because impact wise, I think there's so much more to dive into in Teens of Denial because it's a whole album and not like a one quote, right? Even though that one quote is very very important. I think I don't know.
The reason why I like the quote a lot is because it's not only like an important quote in the game itself. It's an important quote to anybody the people who. It's an important quote to just ever. Okay.
Your words are really wording right now. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
It's been like 2 hours. I'm tired. It's a very important quote to communists, if you want me to say the word.
Okay.
And not only communists, but also normal people. And one day, it's a very affirmative quote to anybody ever. Especially when it takes place, it's right after the tribunal. Is it the tribunal?
Yes.
Yeah. And then it's after a huge tense moment, and most of the time, not most of the time. How do you say it? For most people, after the tribunal, a lot of people probably did die in your game. Mine definitely did. We probably weren't able to save a lot of people, and everything is going to shit, and then there's this thing the written out of paint and blood, and then you chuck a matchstick onto it and it burns. It's fucking incredible. Yeah.
It's an incredible image there, and also it's painted by Cindy, the kind of she's, I don't know how to describe her. She's kind of like a rebel artist, communist sympathizer at least. Well, no, I think she's a communist.
She is.
And she's also an artist, and she saw this bloody mess and decided to paint something out of that, and that's just fucking powerful.
Yeah.
But Teens of Denial have what is it? They have drunk drivers, killer whales, just destroyed by hippie powers. Fucking fill in the blank. The Ballad of Costa. No, what is it called? Costa Rica. Not Costa Rica.
Concordia.
Costa Concordia. Cosmic Hero. So many great songs about being lost in your teens and not really understanding something. Recently, I've really grown to like stuff like Unforgivable Girl and Not What I Needed, and the lyrics on them are so clever. This isn't sex. I don't think. It's just extreme empathy. It's fucking sick. And yeah, just the storytelling all across these albums. You could say it's not as catchy or poppy as a lot of stuff on
definitely, yeah.
But I still love it. I think I'm leaning towards Teens of Denial because I don't think we're gonna get Good Lives Make.
We already have Disco Elysium, so I think it's fair that you give it to Teens of Denial.
Right.
This is like a communist quote, losing against a liberal rock album.
Perhaps.
I mean, liberal as in the spirit, individualistic. Yeah.
Okay. Breath of the Wild reveal versus Ghost Trick, Phantom Detective. Fucking.
Oh man, this is not exactly fair because you haven't played Breath of the Wild and I haven't played Ghost Trick yet.
Yeah, but try to argue still, the value of the Breath of the Wild.
Okay. The thing with Breath of the Wild itself is I think it has grown to be my favorite game of all time. It's dethroned Dark Souls actually. And the reason is it's basically getting lost in a world that is it's getting lost in a Ghibli movie, although I've never seen a Ghibli movie before.
Okay.
But yeah, it is basically like that. Its aesthetics is incredible, and like the reveal, especially the reveal, is because I'm gonna talk about the reveal in my upcoming video, so I won't talk too much about it here. But the reveal is like one of the moments ever that I've experienced in like digital media ever, because it like it's like an, I don't know, the mind expanding moment. In a way, it's like not that like we're getting like new intellect or like new knowledge, but in that, you know, the possibilities are endless, and like you just feel incredibly good. The hair in your back stands up, kind of that kind of thing.
And then you go into the dungeons and realize they're copy pasted shrines all over.
No, not really.
No, okay, I heard that's a common complaint. Like the shrines are copy pasted.
I think that's from Tears of the Kingdom.
So it's different.
I may be
okay.
wrong. It is quite different.
They didn't have
At least like for, I think the only real problem for Breath of the Wild that people popularly say is the problem of weapon durability, which now that I'm playing it again is definitely a problem. Everything just breaks like very quickly. But other than that, there's really nothing too much I can really like criticize about Breath of the Wild. It just is incredible.
So yeah, I guess Breath of the Wild, its reveal of the world when you step outside into the shrine, when you know naked Link is woken up for some reason. I've seen like the opening sequences, but I haven't played it. It represents wonder. It represents infinite possibilities, and it's just you know,
and like freedom, like utter complete freedom, and which is basically the game itself.
And I would say that Ghost Trick is kind of in some way the opposite of that. It is the perfectly crafted package of just like everything. I
actually watched the video by Matthew Matosis on it was some kind of game mechanic, and he focused specifically on Ghost Trick in that like you only like press a button to do something, and that's it. That's the whole mechanic. But like that is like a special button or something. I'm not sure the exact technical term for it, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think it's just because it's made on a DS, and like DS is like very few, you know, actual like they don't have many spaces for like fancy bullshit, so they have to condense the design. So Ghost Trick is Shu Takumi, so he's the creator behind Ace Attorney and Ghost Trick, and he has many flaws, but he also has very good strengths. He's very good at constructing a mystery. He's very good at making memorable characters, and he's not very good at like making shit that like that like makes sense physically, like. And he's also not very good at basically that. Yeah, it's like sometimes the ridiculousness is too much and you blow off the rails. And Ghost Trick is just every strength of Shu Takumi condensed, injected straight into this 10-hour experience that is perfectly crafted. Like there's not a single moment that I think like it really drops the ball. Like it just moves at such a fast pace. And this is kind of, you know, the contrast with
Haha, it's funny, drop the ball because like you dropped the wrecking ball to kill the person.
Exactly. And that's the kind of the contrast with Breath of the Wild, where it's like it's exploration, it's freedom. Ghost Trick.
Yeah, it's also interesting because like Breath of the Wild is also probably like incredibly very close to perfect in my eyes, at least. It's like made by I forget. It's made by like I forgot his name.
Eiichi Aonuma. That's the
Aonuma, and like everything about it is like the world is interesting by itself, and you're just let out into it. There's only like a very brief tutorial. Not very brief, but a brief tutorial, and you can do whatever the fuck you want after that. You can just like straight go to Ganon and kill him if you want, or you can like explore the world. You can explore the past of the world, which is one of the biggest things that I want to like bring up. Is like you can explore, like exploring the past, what happened to the lands before you like while and before you were like sleeping for like 100 years. That is just incredible to me. It's being in time, Dasein. It just makes me feel very, very good inside.
I think there's a few criticisms with Ghost Trick because you brought up the backstory. And Ghost Trick, even though there's many good things about it, a very tightly constructed narrative, the mechanics, as said by Matthew Matosis, super intuitive and very, very fun, even though it's so simple. There's a few problems, like how the backstory is mostly just like a visual novel, kind of, you tap through the dialogue, they're going to reveal important information now, and they always just kind of do that. But it doesn't happen that often, but it's still, it could be a flaw if you want something more organic, like actually, find out the information through, like, I don't know, contextual clues or something. They would just dump stuff on you, and you could say, like, the latter parts, I just fucking used the guy. It was, like, pretty hard for me because I'm a small brain man. So you could say the design there is kind of odd. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I like freedom and potential, so I'll go Breath of the Wild because Ghost Trick, even though it's probably one of the best games I've played, I can see the flaws in it, especially because it's a DS game and, like, a lot of the design things, like, they couldn't they couldn't let you pause the animation because the whole point of the game is that you play out a scene and then you manipulate time and objects in it so that it plays out in a different way. But the scene has to just play out over and over again, and if you don't see something, you're fucked. It's like, well, what the fuck did I do? So it can be frustrating that way, but still, I guess.
Yeah, I think Breath of the Wild is like one of the. It's just a perfect package for me. I'll play Tears of the Kingdom, but I'm like, even like knowing the base stuff about it, it just feels too much already. So yeah.
Damn.
I'm not saying like it's bad. It's probably gonna, like, I'm probably gonna fall in love with it as well. But I don't think Breath of the Wild it can beat Breath of the Wild.
I gotta play it one day when I get a controller, maybe, because I can emulate it still.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely.
My Kindle e-reader and Mr. Robot. All right, let me make a case for my Kindle e-reader because I'm a filthy pragmatist, and the utility the Kindle e-reader has brought me is so good. I don't need to buy another book ever again. I know how to get, like, the free books, and I just get, I bought this thing for like 140 euros, and I don't need to buy a book ever again. Like, legit, I've read at least like 10 books on it by this point. The Zaragoza series, Neuromancer, halfway through the one Zizek book, and also just a bunch of other stuff by all kinds of authors from all over the world, because I just have the world at my fingertips, and also it doesn't hurt your eyes because it's it's in a way that, like, it doesn't have the light that phones have. I don't know what it's called, blue light.
Yeah.
So it's just such a great thing. You can't beat it. You cannot beat it.
Well, okay. Let me make a case against my Kindle e-reader. The thing is, like, I haven't bought a book ever in my life myself.
Right.
I've either used libraries, or I've just used EPUBs, which I've started to use now, and I'm in, like, you can do the same things in your, like, laptop or a computer, and you can, like, tweak the screen settings if you want. You don't necessarily have to get an e-reader for that purpose. So,
yeah, but it also hurts your eyes.
What?
It also hurts your eyes. I said, like, the Kindle doesn't hurt your eyes because it
not necessarily. No, I mean, you can get, like, there's night light and low brightness settings and shit. So you don't necessarily have to hurt your eyes while reading in your in your monitor. So
that's right. Another thing with Kindle is that it's also, for me, it's a very good thing to have, like, a thing that I know is for this one purpose, because when I'm on my phone, I can do so many things. When I'm on my Kindle, I'm reading the book, and that is, like, puts me
that is true, but that's very funny because you're basically, like, you're paying for less, right?
Why?
I mean, you're paying for one single purpose, but one of the appeals for that payment is because it does not provide any other purposes. You're paying for a negation.
I guess you could say that. I don't see really a problem with it, though.
I mean, it's like, you're paying more for, what do you call it? Paying more for sugar-free, or fat-free things than you are paying for fat. So, you're paying more for nothing.
Okay, well, I don't think it's
Mr.
nothing.
Robot.
It's just kind of like, how people, even now, maybe not. Like, I saw a video, like, yesterday of a guy who quit music streaming for a month and went back to CDs. And like it's just the kind of thing where like you pick up a book from a bookshelf, that's like a ceremonious thing. Like it puts you in a certain mood, and that is a part of the experience. Like you can't say like putting a disc in something.
That's
like people
that's
who collect
true. That's
physical
true.
video
But
games.
like that is true. That is true. Very true. But like as you're a pragmatist, you said yourself. I think
Yes.
I'm being more of a pragmatist myself when I say this. But like, do we really need that? Is that really a utilitarian thing or like a practical thing? Do we need ceremonies?
Well-
do we
well,
need traditions? Wouldn't it be like more? Would it be more utilitarian if we were able to like adjust and like use things that can do multiple things and like potentially save space and like
Yeah,
waste.
the pragmatist thing has always been like a running joke. Like I don't actually think I am one. Like I value the experience of something quite a bit, and I think
Yeah.
it's just that the e-reader is the closest we can get to, the experience of like pulling a book from your shelf without it cluttering so much and taking so much space. That's the like closest we can get to the ceremonial experience because it's scrolling is not as cool as browsing through your library. But what if I don't have a fucking bookshelf? Like that's just the way it goes. So I still like it. What about Mr. Robot though?
I think I've also talked about Mr. Robot before. I think I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure I
definitely.
have. It's a very good show. I won't talk too much about it, but it's a very, very good show. Its main character is literally me. That thankfully he's becoming less me, or at least parts of him are like the bad parts of him are becoming less me. Thankfully, but yeah, the first time I watched, like there are some scenes, there are certain monologues that just like fucking like pierced my heart. not my heart, my liver, because the heart has a romantic connotation. It wasn't romantic at all. It was terrifying because it was like literally my life, my experiences. So yeah, it was a terrifying experience, but I really it stuck with me. I think it's probably my favorite TV show of all time, although I've only like watched like 10 TV shows ever. But
every time you bring up Mr. Robot, I just think of the gif that you sent me of like him going, I pissed.
Yeah.
That's all I remember.
Yeah, and it's an anarchist revolution. It's about taking out like a big corporation. It's about deleting money from the world, and it's about being a little schizo.
Well, Mr. Robot is one good story. Kindle e-readers.
Ah, fuck off! No, Mr. Robot is winning
infinite
this.
stories.
Shut up. No.
Many stories. You can read the
No.
screenplay of Mr. Robot.
Okay, no, Mr. Robot is winning this. There's no debate.
What?
Yes.
How can something that provides you so many stories?
Okay.
It says.
No. My Kindle e-reader, not Kindle e-reader. My Kindle e-reader. So
just
your
the-
singular, particular Kindle e-reader is what
That's
what
not
we're
like
fighting
what-
against. In that case, it only provides value to you. While Mr. Robot can be watched all throughout the world for many, many people, and many, many people can can like interpret what it's about and like learn about anarchism and anarchist revolutions
so
and why
fucking
money is
stupid.
bad
This is so
and why
fucking stupid.
and
Like,
yes,
this is
Mr. Robot is winning.
This is
Shut up.
semantics. My
Does
Kindle
not matter.
e-reader. It was just
Fuck
a
you.
thing-
No.
First
Mr.
of all,
Robot wins.
Yes, my
Mr.
Kindle
Robot
e-reader.
wins.
My Kindle e-reader has benefits to me, but I
Fuck
give it
private
to, if I get-
property. Mr. Robot wins.
If I gave my Kindle e-reader to anybody else, they would get the same value because the books they don't change once they're out of my fucking hands. I get so many books.
No.
I have Sacred the Terrible Air. I have all the
No.
G-Jack books. I have so many. What do you mean?
I also have those things, but I don't need your Kindle e-reader. I already have it here.
Yes, but like
In my
if
laptop.
somebody hasn't read it, like how many people have
Yeah,
read
they could
Sacred
just
and Terrible Air compared to people who
they
haven't
can
read it?
just download it from Reddit.
Yes, but I gave them. It would be the same. Then they could fucking just get anything off the
Also,
internet. They
like
don't need my
you'd
thing.
have to you don't need your thing. You have to like give your Kindle e-reader for every person in the world if they want to experience things. Whereas Mr. Robot can be accessed by anyone with an internet connection, which a lot of people do have at this point in time. So no, Mr. Robot wins.
You know, I actually kind of agree. Yeah, that's right. Mr. Robot is like, it can be only experienced in this one form, while the books on my Kindle e-reader can be in other places.
Yeah.
That's fair. All right. we got last few matchups. Dragon Your Mountain, I Believe in You, and Kumomi by Nujabes. And since you have no
That's
say in
all
this,
you.
yeah, let's see. Dragon Your Mountain basically is cemented.
I liked the three songs that I really liked. I have yet to like completely complete it. I liked Simulation Storm. I liked Sparrow. I liked Change. Is it called Change?
Yes,
Yeah.
Change, the first song.
Yeah.
Just by experiencing this album, also reading like the context behind it, like the people who were making it, well, what they were thinking, it just made me really, it was the most emotional I've gotten over something for a long time. And it's just because the singer Adrian Lenker was talking about how she wanted to make this album to celebrate the process of creating art, like this, like celebrate, like provide a space where people can feel like they're accepted, like they're welcome in this party that basically the band is throwing in a way. And yeah, just like this welcoming nature, this communal nature of music. The fucking cover is a bunch of animals playing the song together, and it's like, wow. And that's just conveyed through so many parts of the song. Like you can hear in many of the songs where like the band members just going woo woo, like there's like the happiness is like overflowing. And like especially the first song, they were like, you ready, like that part, like they keep that in. And the last song, Blue Lightning, yes, fucking, but the songwriting here is just amazing. Adrian Lenker is a one of a kind talent. In the song Blue Lightning, like they end it and then like there's like a huge like whoa, and it's like, what do we do now? Like it's so much about like the communal aspect of it, and I love it. And it made me want to make things. Like it basically defined right now my goal of whatever the art I'm making. I want to make people feel
nice.
like they feel heard. I want to make people feel like they're accepted. That's like my goal for anything, even though a lot of my videos are kind of maybe they're accusatory in some sense, but I don't want it to be that. Eventually I want to be in that space. I want to make something that's that significant. And then Kumomi by Nujabes is a song that has a similar impact on me. I encountered it in like one of the darkest times of my life, or is it just like I was like, what the fuck was I doing? And I just felt like what I was making wasn't good enough, and also just like everything outside of what I was making wasn't going well. And I was like, so this story is kind of not true, as in like the Nujabes creation story, because I thought, okay, everybody says he's the king of lo-fi hip-hop, like he invented the genre, when his stuff is so much deeper than the average lo-fi hip-hop fucking song. It's just ridiculous to even compare. But it is true. I can see the spirit of it carrying on, because Nujabes, in his new interviews, he just always just talked about, he made some of the most transcendent music fucking ever. But he said, I'm just a normal guy. Like, I'm just a guy who really likes music. And I think, like, my message is that anybody can make music. And I was just, like, thinking about that and how, even though he died at such an unfortunate age, he made that come true. He, quote-unquote, like, originated in some part lo-fi hip-hop, which is just a bunch of people in their bedrooms making shit and, like, putting on this radio. Like, he basically created one of the most, like, accessible ways of making making songs, making music. Like, I think I saw a video of Digibro, like, back when she was still making videos on the channel, where like she tried to make a Nujabes song and was just like pulling some drums, pulling a sample, and that was it. Like, it was so simple. And like I think that's why lo-fi hip-hop has been able to become the zeitgeist, because it's so popular and it's so simple to make and everybody's doing it. So Nujabes, even though he didn't really intend it, he made this, he did what he wanted to achieve. He inspired people to make music because he thinks everybody can do it. And I was thinking about that in class and listening to Kumomi, which is just a beautiful song. It is like, most of his songs are samples, even the best ones, like Aurorian Dance, the one in Samurai Champloo, that's also a sample. But this one, I couldn't find a sample. I was trying to find it. Maybe he played the piano, or maybe somebody else played it. But this is like one of his like few original pieces of work. And I was listening to that, I was like, holy fuck. And I was like crying. This is like the first song that made me like genuinely bawl down. In class, it was not good. So I don't know, I guess one inspired me and one gave me a more like clear direction. I think Kumomi means more to me. But Dragon New Warm Mountain, listen to that whole album. It's 20 songs and they're all pretty much perfect. So all right, In the Airplane and Imagine Aeroplane. I don't want to hear any of this bullshit.
I agree that Airplane definitely wins, but let me just talk about Imagine. Why did you even put this on here? is like it's like the first song that I liked. Ever. Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay.
And it's like my dad made me listen to it when I was very young. And there's like this one Big Joel video where it's about
Ben
it's
Shapiro tearing it down.
yeah,
right?
Ben Shapiro, yeah, and the politics of imagination, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that like how he recontextualizes Ben Shapiro's lecture on Imagine is just insane, because we're
Lecture
basically
is
like
a really charitable word to
Yeah,
say.
yeah,
It's more like a
yeah.
tantrum.
So it's basically just like the song playing and like his annoying little squeaky voice ranting over
Yeah.
the song, but like the song is like over, like its sound is mixed weirdly in that like the song is louder than his voice, and so like the song is slowly overtaking this weird
right.
and like that moment is just, it feels so good to like
Right.
think back to. So-
The song was talking about like, oh, it's heaven or like something good.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Ben Shapiro's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you're not going to heaven. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
And also the song is like pretty radical, like no heaven, no hell, no possessions, or no countries. No, all the good things. I mean, like, you know, it's John Lennon and like Yoko Ono, but like let's not talk about that. Imagine by John Lennon, the song itself.
It's a good song. I like it.
I think whenever someone asks me like, what's the best song according to you?
What? Really? You go
like-
Imagine John Lennon?
No, wait. It's like I used to definitely. I definitely used to. I can't really answer that right now because like I don't think I have like the expertise to judge songs like that, like in like a critical lens. But Imagine is a pretty good song, and like I used to definitely answer the best song. Imagine, yeah.
Seaman stains the mountaintops, airplanes win.
And yeah,
What the
that
fuck?
does have the word. Yeah.
Jeff Mangum, I love you so much. I love you, Jeff Mangum. All right, so last one.
Okay.
Okay, we're coming to the close of this finally. G-Jack's coffee without cream joke.
Oh,
What
is it
that
the
joke?
last one?
Yes, it is the last one. Well, like we still have the second round, but like it's gonna go quicker.
Okay. So the joke is, this is a pretty short joke. So like it's doubly funny because he probably like brings it up every lecture ever, and then he starts like, you've probably heard this joke a million times before. I'm sorry if you have. And obviously he has his like repetitive phrases. I don't really remember them, but like he always says the same thing, and he always says the same joke, and he always says the same. He always like takes the same concept out of the joke, but every single time he like makes sense like in a different context every single time. And so the joke itself is basically from a film by Lubitsch, I think. It's where a guy goes to a cafe and then asks the waiter to give him coffee without cream. And the waiter is like, "Oh, sorry, sir, we ran out of cream, but we do have milk though. So would it be okay if I served you coffee without milk?" So hello, are you still there?
I am there. I don't get the joke.
The joke itself, like the comedic aspect of it, I'm gonna explain the joke now.
Please explain.
Yeah, the comedic aspect of it is that coffee without cream and coffee without milk is the same thing. It's just black coffee.
Oh, okay. I don't drink coffee, so I don't know. I didn't know. That.
You filthy tea.
I drink tea.
Tea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sadly.
you become what you drink. You are tea. But like the thing is, in his book, I forgot, it was Trouble in Paradise, he uses the same thing to basically say, actually I think I can basically illustrate the same thing with the thing that I said about fat-free stuff being sold separately from fat stuff and like costing like this around the same price. One is coffee with like they're in like under capitalism, their they're basically my vocabulary is
You need to
tumbling
fucking
down.
take a break. You're tumbling down, really.
Yeah.
Take a break to gather your words, bro.
So under capitalism, they what do you say for the word they price you? Not they price you.
Charge you.
Yeah, charge you. They charge you for a negation, for a nothingness. They charge you for a negativity, a negativity, right? That's never happened before, ever. And there's also another example where there's like the certain district or like a certain street where every month there's like a certain party that goes on where the ethos of the event is supposed to be anyone can join the party for free and like have a good time. And he talks about two kinds of people. One who's like joining the party to like forget about his troubles at home, to forget about his house being taken over by the bank because he's not able to like repay his loans, and like his dysfunctional family, and he's joining the party in order to like forget about all that and like drink. Whereas the other guy who's like very rich, he's just coming there to have a good time. Both are black coffees. They're both there, but one is coffee without cream and the other is coffee without milk. Do you get it? It's like the negativity itself is a positive content of the package.
Okay, I think I roughly get it. It's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we have Tank.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tank, Cowboy Bebop, it's an iconic opening. I don't have much to say about it. I think Cowboy Bebop has better songs in it. I think it's
probably true. But the opening, I really like the opening, and then like every time I like cycle, for some reason, every single time I cycle, the opening plays in my mind, and I feel cool when I cycle.
I like the opening animations as well, like the fucking so iconic. The way like how do you say silhouette characters. It's just great. What do you think is moving on? They're both yours.
I think I agree with how, I mean, yeah, there's probably like better stuff in Cowboy Bebop, like better opening, like better songs. I think isn't there like what was the name of the song? Blues?
No.
Okay, yeah.
Blues? I thought it was
no. It's like, oh man, I shouldn't be forgetting this. Yeah. We'll have Zizek win this time.
All right, second round, and this is gonna go a bit quicker finally, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Disco Elysium to Pimp a Butterfly. I think it's probably fair to say Disco Elysium moves on, even though I love To Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah, I think so too. I also really love To Pimp a Butterfly, but Disco Elysium, man.
Right, it's Disco Elysium. Blue Minty You and the Cruel Angel's Thesis. I'm going
Cruel Angel's Thesis.
I'm going
no.
Blue Minty You, bitch. What are you talking about? Like, Cruel Angel's Thesis is a song. It's a never mind. Let's go Cruel Angel's Thesis.
Yeah, Bloom Into You is okay. I respect it. I really do think it's a very good manga.
Stop saying manga. Why did you say manga? It's a manga. God damn it.
Fuck you. I'll say what I want. It's a free country. Fuck you.
It's not a free country under my reign.
That is true. You fucking dictator, Maoist.
Okay, so Hive Mind and Being. Shit. I like Hive Mind more, just because it gives me more joy in life. And
Being represents my love for philosophy.
Hive Mind represents my love for.
I don't care. Does not matter.
I care.
People that do not matter. Thoughts do.
People do matter. That's why we're doing this podcast. People do matter.
Yes, but thoughts. We use our thoughts to talk. Without being, there is no hive mind. Without being, there is nothing. But nothing is ceasing to be, and ceasing to be ceases to be, ceasing to be, and therefore becomes becoming.
I don't care about reaching the rock bottom. I care about what's engaging me in the current moment. That
does not no. I won't allow you to. I won't allow you to, because I don't like hive mind as much as I do like.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense, right? Because hive mind, it's all mostly a me thing, and being, I can respect it. So, Let's go.
Mm.
Let's let Being move on.
Yes.
Action Button
Yes.
fucking wins this one. Fuck you. Majima has no.
Yeah,
candle
sure.
to Tim Rogers.
Sure. Yeah, I
Action
agree.
Button.
Tim Rogers is one of the best, I think best YouTuber for me.
Probably, yeah. Hyoko Analysis Series or Charlie Chaplin's Speech. One is
Charlie
very important
Chaplin's
to me,
speech. Yes.
and one is like probably better, like more significant.
Yeah, I think it's not only incredibly important to me as a person, it's also incredibly important to anybody ever. Not anybody ever, but like anybody who's like lived in, who's into film as well as who's lived in under like fascism.
It's more influential, definitely.
Yeah.
Teens of Denial versus Breath of the Wild reveal.
Oh man.
Teens of Denial
Breath
is kind of
of the-
like my Breath of the Wild, as in, I don't know, this metaphor goes nowhere. I like Teens of Denial more than Breath of the Wild because I've not played Breath of the Wild, and I've heard Teens of Denial.
I've heard Teens of Denial and I've played Breath of the Wild. I will like to stick on to
what?
Breath of the Wild. Because like
I think it would be really
Teens of Denial
funny.
is incredible. It's
I think
definitely
it would be really
insanely
funny
yeah.
if Teens of Denial won against one of the most critically games of all time.
I think it would be incredibly funny if I punched you in the face.
You fucking short ass bitch! You can't punch me shit. You
No,
just
that
punch
is
me
true.
in the chest. I'm going. Teens of Denial. It would be so funny though. Teens of Denial wins against Breath of the Wild, and we.
But
we
it'll
both,
also
okay,
still
come on.
okay. Let me actually make a case for this actually, because like Teens of Denial is very very good, but like it's the car seat headrest also has Twin Fantasy, whereas
Yes.
Breath of the Wild. I mean, sure, Breath
It
of the
also
Wild.
has Tears of the Kingdom, bro.
But
Tears
no,
of Denial
the
is the Tears of the Kingdom of the Twin Fantasy of the.
No, it is
Breath of the
not.
Wild. It is, bro.
The Tears of the Kingdom is a flawed masterpiece, says a lot of people that I know on the internet.
You haven't even
who
played
really
it.
like. No, but I basically know everything that happens, and I have like this is not the same thing as like knowing everything that happens in Gurren Lagann, because Gurren Lagann is a narrative show, whereas like this I have like seen other people play, as well as like it's basically just Breath of the Wild, but more stuff added to it. So no, Breath of the Wild wins, please. Yes.
Okay, since Grace's connection is fucking up, we'll get this over with quicker. Mr. Robot
Yes.
and Kumobia and Nujabes. Come on, like the personal story I told is fucking Nujabes. This one, come on. How can you say, yeah, you don't care about my personal story? It was so
Okay,
important to
sure.
my journey,
Okay,
bro.
fine,
Okay.
fine. It's
Alright.
just you have to watch Mr. Robot.
Okay, yeah, I don't think it's gonna change my life more than Nujabes ever.
It's not about changing lives. It's just a good fucking show.
I'm sure.
Which
but
it's just not-
Kumomi, I wouldn't be here without Nujabes. I would probably kill myself.
I don't care about. Okay, sure, that wins, but you have to watch Mr. Robot.
I will,
That's
I
the
will
only.
see.
one. That's the. Yeah. Okay.
In the airplane over the sea wins. Come on.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
It's just Zizek is not. That's not Zizek at his best. He has better
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah.
Disco Elysium and the Crew Angels thesis. Come on, it's this.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Cruel Angel's Thesis is just, just
It
that.
is a very good song. Being action
Oh my
button.
god, no.
It's action button. It's action button. He has so much pathos. He's my dad. He's my dad. He's my dad. Okay, like it's no debate. Being is not my dad.
Actually, he is. Action button is being,
Action
and your
button.
dad is being. Therefore,
I don't
your
care
dad
about the
is
source of
actually.
anything. I don't. It's like the thing where like how Citizen Kane was so influential in cinema. And
No.
so many, without Citizen Kane, so many things wouldn't have happened. I don't
It's
care.
not
I
like
care.
that.
I like,
It's not like that.
I like everything.
It's absolutely not like that.
So it's the origin of
Okay,
everything.
let
whatever, fine.
me actually make my testimony here. Okay.
I don't care. Action button wins. I don't want being.
What?
To go to
Let
the
me just
finals.
no wait. Action button will win.
Okay.
But
So let's do it.
okay, only because being is only one concept of science of logic. If it was against like I don't know Hegel's philosophy or like philosophy as a whole, action button stands no chance. But it's just being. Yeah, action button wins. Being as a concept, no. Action button is definitely the best YouTuber of all time. Yes.
Yeah, I don't. I was thinking, we need a tiebreaker because in hardline brackets they have a tiebreaker, but also it would be too unfair because nobody gives a shit about Spirit of Logic, whatever the fuck. Nobody
Fuck
cares.
off.
So obviously I would win. So like it wouldn't even
Fuck
be fair
off.
to have a what is it?
Fuck
to have
off.
you're not even hearing. What I'm saying.
Shut up.
Okay, Charlie Chaplin's speech from the I don't care either way. I think Breath of the Wild is cooler, but it's probably less important. So I'm going Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah. Kumami, Nujabes, and I mean this is kind of
Actually, wait.
what?
I think Breath of the Wild is like it's Charlie Chaplin's speech is yeah, never mind. Yeah, sure, go ahead.
You just
Breath
said it
of the
was
Wild,
like
best
so
game of all
important
time.
for like
Yeah.
it's like the selling point
Yes.
for film students
Yes.
and stuff.
Yes, Breath of the
Yes.
Wild, best game for me for now. But yeah, Charlie Chaplin wins.
Okay. Kumami by Nujabes and in the Airplane Over the Sea. Probably my favorite album, my favorite song, so it's as hard. I don't know.
I think I'll go with In the Airplane Over the Sea because it's also probably one of my favorite album too. Maybe.
Yeah, I think it's just, too much of a consensus there. But you fought a good
Yeah.
fight, Kumomi. All right.
Yeah, definitely.
Now we have Disco Elysium versus Action Button.
Ooh, first off, like to anybody watching this, definitely like check out the things that we mentioned. That's kind of like the point, isn't it?
Except for being. I don't want that to get any more attention. Than
No, fuck you. Yes.
I don't need another pretentious piece of
read Science of Logic. Anybody and everybody.
Okay. Disco Elysium or Action Button though. It's
Oh
kind of
man,
cliche, but I
that's,
think it's shit. Okay. What has changed my life more? Disco Elysium or Action Button?
I think Disco Elysium for me personally. Action
Okay, so
Button,
here's my
best
case.
YouTuber.
Here's my case. Disco Elysium, it's probably my favorite piece of art. It's over. Action Button, he's still not dead. He can still make like 5 years of videos, which is like 2 videos. But like it's still continuing, and from everything I've seen, I trust it's gonna get better and better and more elaborate. And this new one is taking over a year, so like I think Action Button as an unraveling project is more significant than Disco Elysium.
I mean, it is. I mean, okay, Disco Elysium is probably the most important thing that's happened to me in overall in my life. But Action Button is also like first off, as I said, like 5 times best YouTuber, best YouTube channel because Action Button is not the name of the person. It's like there's so much to learn from him, like his writing and like
Right.
in like in like what we do, on YouTube
Exactly,
as well as we're both probably gonna write for like a living, probably hopefully. So I think in that sense, Action Button is very, very important. This is like a very hard matchup.
Right. I think Action Button, yeah, just the ongoing nature of it, and also it's just there's so much more to learn. Maybe. I mean,
Yeah,
Disco Elysium is also very good to learn, but
Disco. Yeah, but like we are Disco Elysium. We're the purpose of the pale.
Yeah.
And
I think
yeah,
for just
Disco
sake
Elysium.
of being not predictable, let's put Action Button first, and also because
yeah,
I think it's
okay.
gonna be
I
more
mean, we've probably set our high praises for Disco Elysium
enough
for
times.
100 times, and
Yeah.
we'll probably continue to do so. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. In the Airplane Over the Sea and Charlie Chaplin's speech. I didn't expect this to be the final like 4. I'm going the Airplane.
Yeah.
Even though it's a predictable choice, it's my favorite album. So.
Yeah, I guess sure, because Charlie Chaplin's speech, then again, like that speech is like an insanely humanistic speech. Like it's anti-capitalist. It's like pro feeling, like pro empathy. It's like a very heartfelt, sincere moment in a film that's like that film like needed to happen. It needed to come out in a time where like things were looking incredibly grim for everyone around the world.
Maybe the world needed Charlie Chaplin's speech, but Jeff Mangum needed In the Airplane Over the Sea, and he matters more to me than. Okay, that's bad to say. No, no. I think In the Airplane Over the Sea is also an incredibly empathetic, passionate album, and it's tragic in so many ways. It's fucking.
I mean, both of them are like tied to the Second World War.
They're
like,
about the Second World War. Yeah, exactly. And In the Airplane Over the Sea, it's just devastating imagery of grief,
So
of
is
something.
so is the like the speech as well as like the whole thing itself. Yeah.
Yeah, and also, it pretty definitely pioneered some lo-fi sound aesthetics that are pretty important to like how lo-fi musicians work. It's so super influential. Like without it, we wouldn't have the microphones or any of those.
Without without Great Dictator, I don't think sound in cinema would be the same.
So it's cinema or music. I think okay. Charlie Chaplin is more influential, but I see in the Aeroplane as like a culmination of everything that's made that era of music great.
Is it though? Like, I mean,
I have the vibe.
I mean, like, how many people? Let's talk about like the influence, right? What has Airplane influenced?
It is one of the most critical. It's not an album. It's like kind of like how To Pimp a Butterfly is like widely accepted as the greatest album in like last decade, but it cannot be replicated too often because it's just that unique, right? And in the Airplane, it's kind of the same. It is, right? Like people have people have seen this thing. It's like, what the fuck? How did he make this? Yes, but it's obviously influential in the way that lo-fi sound aesthetics has been used. We go back to microphones in the early 2000s. All the indie musicians are influenced by that. And now even now, like Quadeca, Jane Remover, so many others. Just like lo-fi as an aesthetic, as like a fucking distortion is so commonly used nowadays in like popular music. Not popular music.
Yeah,
music.
But like, is Aeroplane the first to do it?
It definitely is the first that like made a breakthrough, but it's not the first to do it, obviously.
Yeah, and like, is it like really that popular though?
I mean, popular as in indie, yeah, but it's not fucking Madonna with The Weeknd.
Yeah, but we're talking about like the most important scene in one of the most popular as well as the most important films of all time.
Yeah,
and I mean like important scene in that like it needed to happen as well. Like the world needed to hear it.
I need to watch the speech, but I mean, okay, I'm convinced. The Greatest Dictator's speech moves on. The Great Dictator.
Yes. Okay. Aeroplane is probably my favorite album as well. Yeah, incredible. Yes.
I don't mind it moving on. I think you made a pretty good case for it. Action Button and Charlie Chaplin. I don't know.
Oh man.
I'm going Action Button just because I want Tim Rogers to be my dad.
I think like
we just have to go with personal preference here. Like I don't know. Like
yeah,
which one do I like more?
I think I'll also go with Action Button here. Oh man.
Holy shit.
I think I think so. Yeah, Action Button.
Action Button wins. The purposes
against.
It wins against Gurren Lagann opening. What is it?
Which is
Majima.
Which is
being.
Which is fair, but your argument was bullshit. Let me just say that for the record.
Which argument?
Okay, moving on.
It wins against Disco Elysium being Majima from Yakuza
Gurren
Lagann, and it wins against Charlie Chaplin, which won against the Aeroplane, and has become the king, the final
of the pale.
King of the Pale. Action Button. Please, Tim Rogers, let me invite you to our podcast, please. We've blazed you enough. Okay?
Hopefully. 80-year-old Tim Rogers.
80-year-old Tim Rogers. In 40 years, I wonder if he's still going to do it. I mean, he says, like, over the next 10 years, he's going to review, like, 36 games or something. And that's the goal. I don't want to do an outro. We did too much. We did too much today.
Yeah, we did.
Thank you for watching.
It's time to goon off.
Time to goon off is enough. All right. See you all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. It's gooning time. Bye.
Bye.